Go ahead. We're talking about the uncivil war in L.A.
So like that's how you take a National Guard unit out of state control and federalize them is what's called Title 10.
Right. But
Right.
it's the fact that like people are like, nah, fuck it, when I showing up, that's cool.
Right, yeah, but
Kind of.
It's interesting because like depending on how long they had notice, I mean, National Guards men and women, but men, men, like they have other jobs.
Yeah.
So it's not like you just call them up. You're like, hey, Billy. Like, yeah, what are you doing? Like, oh, I'm just hanging out at the armory. Like, all right, well, grab your shit. Let's go.
Like anytime the bat signal goes up, Batman just drop what he's doing and goes.
Yeah, well,
they're not Batman.
No, they are not.
So, like, and the Title 32 is activation of the National Guard under state authority, which is normally what they are, but that's what makes them full time. Be Title 32 orders. So this is the like maybe the only time, I don't know, where like a state governor hasn't requested that the National Guard be
Deployed.
federalized.
Yeah.
The last time this happened was in the 60s in Alabama.
Yeah, I did hear that. Yeah.
Yep.
The last time that the Guard was deployed?
Well, no,
by
like,
the president.
by the president without the
During the Selma riots.
Yeah.
without the governor requesting it.
Yeah, it is odd that it wasn't requested.
The governor at the time wouldn't have requested it.
No, in L.A.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, like, because it's fucked right now.
Well, yeah, and especially since even the LAPD was like, hey, we got this under control. Like, yeah, okay, they burned like 5 of our cop cars, but we have like 42,000 of them. Like, it's not a huge, like, okay, we just gave up 2 cars. I mean, how many did they burn in the Baltimore City?
I don't know.
Unrest?
I don't have a number.
But I mean, like, it wasn't 2.
No.
It was quite a few.
But I saw a bunch of like highway patrol vehicles too getting like trashed. Like it looked like at least 8. Like in a separate
rock throwing.
Yeah.
Those were federal vehicles.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
All those ones lined up underneath that overpass.
One of them said highways on it.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's just crazy to me.
Well, you know what they say. Life is a highway.
Yeah. So thoughts and prayers out there. I hope get under control. I guess. That's my thoughts anyway. Maybe people don't want it under control. I don't know. I would like it under control.
I would like to see the truth.
If it was going on in Newmarket, I would like it under control.
Yeah.
I guess I would want it.
Would they
there
bring
too.
out the Santa tank? Do you think?
I guess
Would the
probably.
Santa tank be engaged?
Probably.
I just worry that it's like, we're, and the grand we're, not me personally or the 4 of us, like creating something in order to escalate.
Yeah,
Right.
It is funny because I've seen footage in my timeline that's like skewed both ways, like
of course,
to obscure, like ridiculous extents. But the one that I saw that was the craziest was this. It was a white SUV traveling down the road, and like all these people like came up on it and started fucking with it, and this guy's like, they're trying to move forward, right? Obviously, so they just start creeping forward, and as they increase velocity, everybody steps away except for one guy, and the one guy's like trying to push back, but obviously he's going to lose. and the reporter's like, he won't stop. This poor citizen is like, I was like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
that's not what I just saw.
Trying to get
Did
there.
you see the Australian reporter get shot with a rubber bullet? Like she was doing her reporting bit, blah, blah, blah. Protesters
I
here.
did see that.
I'm so-and-so. Got it. All right. Pop. And you can see the guy swing the gun towards her and pop.
I mean,
And shoot her with a rubber bullet. I'm like, what the fuck?
I saw a great one this morning where it said protester figures out like racism and people immigrating in, and she's just standing in the middle of the street, like tear gas all around her, and she's just blowing bubbles with it.
Lovely.
Hey, listen.
We got the wrong invite.
The First Amendment gives us the ability to protest however we'd like.
I mean, if you just go to like a wrestling show and see some of these signs, they're not about wrestling.
No, they're not.
I see the same energy.
Does
Same fucking
it
energy.
give you the ability to protest however you want?
Well, peacefully.
Oh, okay.
I'm just
Well,
saying,
that's a big
well,
caveat.
I'm sorry. Bobby, I have bubbles on my mind.
Yeah, that's
And
fair.
I just love the idea of Bubble Lady out there. Just being like stop the fight.
Guys, you got the wrong idea. Look
Look at this bubble.
How many people are fucking with me?
on my
Zero.
mind.
Zero people fucking with me. You know?
Good energy.
Yeah. Other than that, what else is going on in the world that we live in? Anything?
We didn't talk about this? The cleverness of the Ukraine drone strike.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Did
that
you
was
guys see
wild.
that?
Yeah.
That was wild.
Did you see it, Joey?
Oh no, I don't.
So
My head down.
they basically they snuck in 18 wheelers with trailers disguised as like shipping containers essentially, but like the roofs remotely slid open, the sides slid out, and it deployed. I think they deployed 171 drones. Most of them had warheads on it that could penetrate this the shell of a airplane, and they destroyed 30% of the Russian bomber fleet.
That's awesome.
Is there any reason why the trailers had crash box written down the side?
Well,
of them? Because the name is a bit on the nose.
so
Vladdy boy, I didn't know anything about
so
this.
now
Don't
what
come
you're
after
saying
me.
is I need to devise a sliding mechanism and some hinges
Bro, like
to create.
we went from watching this shit on movies like 10, 15 years ago to this is like now real. This is some Iron Man shit.
it's crazy.
I mean, this is shit we would watch on some action movies,
It's
right?
like, hey, can we be honest for a minute?
Yeah.
It looks like better than what we're getting in the Iron Man department.
We haven't gotten there yet. We haven't gotten to the trailers yet. But
Fiction is not stranger than reality.
And have you seen the people piloting these drones? They're wearing VR headsets.
Yeah.
With
That's
remote. With
Yeah.
they're playing a video game.
Yeah.
So warfare has become the skill set that.
What if
They've said
This-
they've been
the
saying
next
that was coming
generation.
like 10,
Yeah.
15 years ago when
Right.
drones started.
Right.
But also it's a problem of like desensitization though. Like when you start playing video games and then you go to war playing video games and you start killing people, it feels no different.
what if you're not
You don't see
actually
it.
playing a video game?
Oh, Ender's Game? I love that movie.
Oh, so when I'm jumping up and down in a corner, shooting myself in the face on accident,
If
that
you're,
some
if you're
poor
playing, if
soul's
you're playing
doing that?
Call of Duty, flying a helicopter, right?
And they should have you doing
And you're actually piloting, and like you blow up, and they just move over to the next.
Guys, have they just been training us to
It's
do
like Last Starfighter.
Have they just been training us to do warfare all these years?
yeah.
And
Oh,
we
yeah.
didn't know
Of
it?
course. Of
I mean,
course.
Well,
it's
if
a-
I can do that triple jump
Yes.
from Cyberpunk, then I'm definitely in.
But I
except
think
for Cyberpunk, that is not a
Ah,
thing.
fuck! It's what's asterisk.
you know that show that I'm a huge fan of and highly recommend everyone
Andor?
see. No, God no. Generation Kill. I've read an interview with the guy that like was responsible for the initial like journalistic endeavor, and he was like it's just fascinating to document an entire army, or military force raised by gangster rap and video games. He's like this is a first where like the energy is different.
I mean, I lived it.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
What do you think about What do you think about the movie Three Kings?
Oh, I love the movie.
I like that movie.
That's
I
great.
like that movie.
Okay, I just
I'm not saying it's historically accurate. Also, well before my time.
The clipboard and the oil still haunts me.
Oh,
Yeah, it's crazy.
Where is all that Iraq and Afghani war movies?
So they just put.
I can't tell most of those stories, Bobby.
I almost watched one last night, called Warfare.
Oh, that's the one that Phil was talking about.
Yeah.
that he spoke highly of.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
I almost rented that on Amazon.
I want to see
last
that
night.
one too. I have it on my actually have it on my watch list.
Yeah, I mean, so the Iraq War, post invasion, like the occupation of it. Terrible movie. It wouldn't be a good movie.
Post invasion. Okay. Yeah, but give me some invasion,
Well, yeah, but that was
or at
pretty
least a
short.
communications disruption,
It was pretty short.
because a communications disruption can only mean
one thing.
invasion.
It's true.
But yeah, I mean, hey, as long as it could be as short as it wants to be, as long as it's around the 2 hour mark.
Well, I mean, the interesting thing
Golden
is,
hour.
like, if you've ever watched the documentary Restrepo,
Yes, I think I have. It was a long time
you
ago.
don't even need a movie.
Yeah, but I
Like, you can watch real
I guess what I'm saying is that
real
like
footage with
Mission
real
accomplished.
people.
I feel like every time I turn around, I'm getting another World War II movie.
Oh yeah, well,
You know, and it's like I want diversity brought to my war films.
I think people like to watch movies where like I don't know how to say it.
Romanticized.
Not only romanticized, but where everyone can get on
clear,
board.
good and bad.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, where everyone can get on board and support. Like not many people. Well,
I mean, these
there,
World War-
there
there's-
are
there's-
some.
there's a
there
ton
are
of-
some people who are deniers of things, but majority wise,
there's a ton of World War One movies too, though. Do you know what I mean? And that's far more, you know, like, oh my god, like that was, you know what I mean, like it's not clear right and wrong. It's like this.
I
is
see
all
far
sorts of-
less World War One stuff talked about than World War Two.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But I see far more World War One stuff than I see the Afghan War. Is my point.
There's a couple.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying there's none.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I want more. I want more to, like Kosovo. What happened there? Give me some movies about Kosovo. You know, like I just want to see different types of war movies other than I feel like we only really get mainly to Vietnam and Vietnam is way nuanced, right? Good and
Well, that
versus-
was interesting
good
in a
and
different
bad,
way. That was
but-
really bad.
but there was tons of Vietnam movies.
Yeah, because that was really a dumpster fire, right? The whole thing was a dumpster fire.
Korean War was kind of a dumpster fire.
I don't know one cares about Korean War.
but
That's the one I want.
yeah, that's
yeah,
what I'm
yeah, I
saying.
know, but like no one like even think about it. It's a Korean War. What is that?
But maybe because they're not making the media. Is my point. Maybe, you know what I mean? Like maybe if we got more information and they told some more interesting stories, because there had to be some over these events, right? Like, you know, a lot of these guys are, you know, not from World War One, obviously, but a lot of these guys that have been in military conflict over the past 50 years have done podcasts and shit that are fascinating. You know, why wouldn't the movie be good?
I think Vietnam lends itself to
Best soundtrack?
really good soundtrack. But like you see a lot of the whole like, you know, dropped into the jungle, like the LRRPs, the long range reconnaissance.
Those are live action role players, I believe.
Long range reconnaissance and patrol.
We took the A out of LARP.
Oh, I thought he just mispronounced it.
No. So like that lends itself well to like a movie.
Right.
Like you drop 12 people in. Well,
Like Tropic Thunder,
12
great.
guys in.
Yeah.
And then they go out for a 7-day mission. That's a 2-hour movie.
Sounds like
Yeah.
a long game of Fortnite.
I was watching this, or I was listening to the Fifth Column yesterday, and they were talking about the drone strikes actually in Russia, you know. But this guy Moynihan, who I love, he made this point like towards the end of it. He was talking about like numbers and perspective and war and conflict and winners and losers and blah blah blah. And he was like, you know, and numbers to me are arbitrary. So, but I'm in
It's a
the
suggestion.
but I'm in the right ballpark. I'm pretty close. He was like, you know, Vietnam, America lost 58,000 soldiers. The Vietnamese lost over 1 million soldiers, and we lost. Mm-hmm. You know, but it's like to hear it framed that way is an interesting, you know,
So
dynamic.
the last thing about this whole Russian,
Because they just hand this kid a gun, like, here, you're in the army now. What?
How old are you?
Like, I can't even smoke cigarettes. Like,
Well, you can when you get in the army.
I still now.
Come in your
Smoke
MREs.
cigarettes. Come hold this gun in the woods.
Might as well smoke a cigarette, have a beer, because you're going to die in 15 minutes.
I'm actually talking about the Vietnamese people.
Oh.
Yeah, but us too.
Well, they just got rice.
Yeah, that's true.
But the last thing about the Ukrainian strike in Russia was just like how far, like they avoided all of the air defenses because it's 50 to 100 or 200 miles inside their border. So like the kind of attack that nobody would see coming, like you just couldn't possibly.
Like the Spanish Inquisition.
Right.
There's gonna be a movie with that one.
Well, no, it worries me about here.
I mean,
How so?
I mean, think how hard would it be to do that here?
To ship
someone to
I mean, like a shipment of Chinese drones comes in, right? Gets through. Oh, it's drones. Yeah, we get that.
We tariff it first and then.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, they're more. Your plan's more expensive for a while. But they, you know, one of them opens up in Ohio.
Right.
There's no fucking air defense system.
yeah, but the thing is, like, all
Right.
of, I guess when something happens and people like think about it, but for me, things like this is not a surprise, nor is it something to think about that it could happen. It's like it could have happened a long time ago. This was always a risk. People just were blind to it or don't think about it.
Well,
Like,
so-
I'm not extra more worried about it now. I'm just like, yeah, see, it happens.
Well, to me, it's like now that it's in front of us, like other people can try to do it.
Right.
Right. Like before, like people would hijack planes, but they didn't fly them into buildings.
And then they did.
And then they did,
then they
and
did.
now they're like, oh, that's really effective. It's like way more effective than anybody ever thought it would be. And then now that is a legitimate option.
And now I have to take my shoes off at TSA.
Yeah.
Bro,
I don't.
And I had to have my. I'll give you one. But I had to have my baby's milk litmus tested.
Yeah.
Not,
Well, the other thing is,
tangent on that in a bit.
I always knew about edible underwear. I didn't know about explosive underwear.
Sadly, I know about explosive underwear like once or twice in my life.
In the car.
That was one.
Running up the stairs.
Bro, so like there are people, I don't know if you're one of them, Bobby.
Okay,
That
maybe.
shits on people like me who like dress like a quote unquote slob to fly. That I should be civilized.
I don't shit on people.
I've heard people
It's
like,
comfy
I can't
boys.
people wear.
We actually talked about this while you were gone.
Yeah, flip flops and sweatpants, and I'm the one.
So flip flops, maybe not. Maybe I have an issue with that. Only because you're putting your bare feet on that floor.
Yeah,
Well, not bare
doesn't
feet
bother
like
him.
the animal, but a human.
but
human
it's
feet.
on
Well,
me.
hold on.
Yeah, but I just find it disgusting.
Chris isn't, because he doesn't have to take shoes off.
Sure, right. Chris would not.
Just to let you guys know how big of a flex that is. It's $50 for 8 years, so it is a huge flex.
How in this economy?
in this economy, and my job will pay for it. So
Well, ooh la la, Mr. Frenchman.
Yeah, what are you, CEO over there?
sometimes that pre-check line is longer.
That's
than
the only.
regular line.
That's the only judgment I have about people. Is
Yeah,
like
I mean, because
people-
I walk barefoot. I was raised barefoot, so it's a cultural thing, probably.
I'm okay with people being barefoot, just not where all these filthy people are fucking going in and out of fucking places with all sorts of shit on their shoes everywhere and putting that shit on your feet.
I mean,
I'm gonna look at
it's
you like you're
not
I'm
too
gonna
much
look-
different being on your sock than on your feet.
To me, that's like not cleaning the toilet before sitting on it.
That's definitely.
Well, for $50 every 8 years, you cannot have to take your shoes off.
What do you work for the pre-check people?
But now
that-
you know,
but
I work
the
for.
thing is-
I work
but
for if you had
Clear,
slides with a pair of
would you like
socks,
to
I'm
skip
still
that
good.
line too.
Yeah, but people
Slides and socks.
people like judge that. Like, why should you be uncomfortable and or look any kind of way to fucking fly?
Who judges that?
People, I've heard many of people.
I don't think
talk
I've
about
ever heard.
Well, it's a very old school thing. I mean, going on a plane used to be like you were suited and booted, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but you could also
Because I
smoke
see-
on an
Well,
airplane.
and
back
it was
then.
these
also
old
that it was
motherfuckers.
super fucking expensive to fly and only like top
and
tier.
the flight attendants had a certain standard, and
That's right.
I think they
and
still
Ric
kinda
Flair
do.
ruined that.
I don't know about that.
I mean, off the times I've flown,
Are you
like,
talking about service of like service standard? Or I think he's talking about a different standard.
I think you're talking about the Mile High Club.
but like all these I don't know how you deal with this. I'm just like standing in line fuming at these people. As not all of them old either. Like, have you not flown in your fucking life? Why are you in like a 3-piece suit and then you are the one who looks like an idiot when you have to take off your fucking belt and shoes and all
There's something nice
and
about being
I cannot-
all of that shit to get, and then
Joey,
on the
my-
other side, you're still in the way because you're trying to put all your fucking shit back on when people are trying to get through.
My only caveat to that, if I had to go like, all right, I'm getting off the plane and going to a meeting,
Right.
And I think, I mean, look, I've traveled a lot, obviously, and I see everything from flip flops and sweatpants to 3-piece suits, right? And my guess on the 3-piece suit guys and ladies that are dressed to the nines is they either are coming straight from work where they are expected to dress a certain way that you hate, right, Joey? Or they're on their way to said, depending on what time of day.
That's my expectation.
That's my only thing. I mean, I dress comfortably on the plane, but if I'm like, all right, my meeting ends at 3, my plane leaves at 6, I'm going straight to the airport. Guess I'm wearing slacks on the plane.
Right.
I'm not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination.
Also, Joey, have you been hammered drunk at 9:30 in the morning in an airport in a 3-piece suit? You feel pretty fucking superior.
Did you have a feather in your cap that day?
But you're in line like everybody else.
You know, I actually feel like I've heard you judge people in suits on planes more than I've ever heard people in suits on planes judge people
No,
wearing sweatpants in my life.
Like I'm
Just
not,
in this past 10 minutes.
Yeah. No, I've heard it many times just throughout the years on different platforms. So people talk about flying. Even like, well, it's comedy, but stand-up comedians be talking about. But I'm not judging them for wearing the suit. I'm
Muscle
judging
Dale
them
airplane flew.
for being in the fucking way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's-
No, that's
it's
awful.
Like if
listen.
you are dressed like that, but you're ready. You know what you're doing. Your belt's off, your shoes are in your hands, you put that shit on. But no, they get up to the line and say, "Oh, I have to take off my fucking belt
So,
now."
but I see people like that wearing anything that aren't fucking
that's
ready
true.
when they get up.
That's-
But it's
So for only
it's-
$50 every 8 years, you also don't have to take off your belt or remove your computers.
But it's the same thing everywhere, right? It's like
just
it's like
fucking
it's like
retards
it's like
everywhere.
it's like when I'm standing in front of the lady at the fucking Popeyes line that's been standing there for fucking 10 minutes, as long as I've been standing there waiting to get her turn, and she gets up and she still doesn't know what the fuck.
No
she
soup-
is.
no
You know
soup
what I mean?
for
It's
you.
the same
But
shit.
that's the thing. The thing is, they weren't even looking at the menu till they got up to it.
yeah, people don't process things the same. I
They
mean,
don't. They
the
don't
post
think,
office
they don't think
is the
ahead.
worst.
And
The
notice,
post
I,
office
notice,
ahead.
notice I said she.
Yeah.
The post office.
trying to get canceled.
They need to
We're
have two
actively trying to
lines.
get canceled
Two
now.
lines at the post office. I'm here and know exactly what I want. And I've never been out in public before.
Yes.
And somehow need to take this pile of stuff that I brought loose and
Loose?
send it to.
Bro,
No, so hold on.
Those are the worst ones when they come up. Hey, I need to ship these phones to
go get a box over there,
Arkansas.
seal it up.
All right. Well,
I've seen
boxes
loose
are
items.
$240.
Yeah.
You have to pay for them now. They're $249. I have some tape you can use.
Yeah.
But I
The
can't.
other side of this conversation is I used to really enjoy flying with a pocket full of metal ball bearings, and I'm not allowed to anymore.
What?
It's okay. Just put them inside of a charger pack for your battery. You have to basically hold that in your lap now.
But yeah, it's always infinitely harder to defend something than it is to attack it. It's always infinitely harder to build something than it is to destroy it. That's
Yeah.
what it comes down to. And like you can worry about it all you want, you can take your measures, but like you just one of those acceptable. Some of the things you have to accept in life is that like there's danger around every corner.
Yeah.
And anytime a solar flare could literally take us out at any given second. Like, yeah, right. That's the easy way to. Yeah, like you. There's just things you can't worry about all the
We
time.
will have, I think, 5 days notice if that does happen, so we can get all our fucking and killing out of the way.
That's if we have fucking the sensors pointing in the right direction and actually like someone manning it. How's funding right now?
You need to retask the watchtower.
you-
retask the
Hey, Joey.
watchtowers.
Yeah.
You said Manning.
Like
How do you say that? Hey, somebody man the cannon.
one woman, please.
No, well, what's the acceptable
Well-
term? Well, I need personnel on this cannon. Is that what you say?
That's an option.
Is that what they would say
Well,
in
someone-
some industries?
someone-
Hey, I need personnel over here on this unit.
What
Whatever,
about
I don't know.
Billy Bob Thornton say in Armageddon? We have enough budget to cover 3% of the sky. Is a big fucking sky. Something like that.
Well,
That's a great movie, by the
Elon's
way.
protecting us with his
Is he? He's going to decommission the
the dragon.
the
I'm
dragon spit.
That fucking
Dragon
infuriates
fire.
me. That our space travel is getting drug into this nonsense.
I
Well,
don't
that
know.
was the whole thing of privatizing it. It was probably a bad idea then.
privatizing
And
a
now-
lot of things is a bad
Because
idea.
we wouldn't spend the fucking money on it.
Who's
Our
we?
the government,
Yeah.
they privatized it all because they didn't want to. They didn't
Like
want to
prisons
invest the
too.
money.
Is that a thing?
I mean, they're gonna. What do you think the whole point of getting people to space is?
What did they say about like 30 years
Space
ago?
prisons, Joey. Space prisons.
Oh, and then we're gonna get Space Australia.
Well, that's what the moon's gonna become. I guarantee
then,
you.
and then, hey, this is what you
I
want.
guarantee
No,
you.
this is what you want. This is how you get belters.
Bro,
Yeah, this is how you get belted.
Beltalowda. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we're
Imagine
back
how
into
tall
expense.
you
Hell
would
yeah.
be
Bobby's
if
having a great
you were
time.
born in space.
Yeah, check my email.
Bro.
So hold on. How tall would Pinkerton be?
Oh my god, he'd
If
be a
I- if I
monster.
was
He'd be like
born in
8'4".
So think about the guy that.
You'd be like
Oh.
13 or 14 feet long.
What if
I like that you called it long.
what if Pinkerton went
And
into
not
a
tall.
singularity
And
and
just
just
stretch the spaghetti.
spaghettified him?
What if you all are already in Pinkerton singularity and you just don't know it? But, man, what if
that
I'm
sounds gross somehow.
What if I'm
That
the
might
main?
be the title.
What if I'm the main character
I got a bone to
could
pick
be.
with you then.
and you guys are all DLC?
What a twist that would be.
God, I can't wait for the fucking update.
That's right.
But we, like, there's been fiction about the world being run by corporations since 30 years ago. We're
It is.
getting there. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I don't know why anyone's surprised that like AI taking over. Like, why is anyone surprised anymore?
what do you
I don't
think-
understand. They've been warning us for years.
The Wayland Yutani Corporation.
We're getting there.
Yeah. The what was it in The Expanse? The Asian guy.
I believe Waylon was in Stone Temple Pilots.
He was. Scott was. Yeah.
I love that sound.
Yeah.
Hey, so I had because it's kind of a light week for me, nerd week wise. So like I was introduction conversations.
We didn't even introduce. We just started talking this week.
Yeah,
Great.
Yeah, yeah.
We're
yeah,
all
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Now you know.
I had a conversation with Jisk yesterday that was actually quite good about your top 5 subjective
Oh God, this is art.
rock bands
Is this
I
the
saw your post.
of your lifetime?
Subjective mean
started
things
in
that-
your lifetime?
Your
or
personal
was
favorites.
popular in your lifetime?
Popular in your lifetime.
Okay.
but that I personally enjoy, or what I think are the top 5 of all. Of
No,
my
your
lifetime?
personal favorites.
Okay.
It was tricky. Like I like a
So-
lot of rock music,
so-
but I don't love a lot of rock bands of my life. A ton. I was able to come up with 10. I was technically 12, but like that I truly love the whole band, their career, the whole run. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Well, I mean, you.
The whole run is a hard thing to say.
I know
Well,
you
it doesn't have to
left
be the
it
whole
off.
run, but 70% of the run, or 8.
Metallica is probably the first thing that comes to mind for me.
They're my number 11.
Shine Down, one for me.
Stained. For me.
Yeah.
Man, I have some real weird
Some-
attachments to that.
Yeah, same
outside
here.
song. Like,
Usually-
that was like when I was going through my prior life worst fucking bottom of it. That
That's
Well,
like
that's
teenage
the thing
angst for me.
That's the thing for this table. Stained is that era
Yeah.
of where we have lots of teenage
I'm
drama.
gonna say Linkin Park
okay.
because I was super impactful on my life around that same fucked up time. So that's 3.
What about Godsmack?
They were Flash though.
Yeah.
They were
so
great for
my-
like a minute, and then like,
I really like some Godsmack songs, but they completely ripped off a Nine Inch Nails record, and I fucking hate them because of it. Even though I still like the songs that I like by them.
I feel like
is-
it could have been something better, but they didn't end up to be.
is Rob Zombie / White Zombie.
Yeah, that's a,
I'll say that.
they're my number 13.
Shout out to Beavis and Butthead because that's who
That's
made
what
them.
that's what made it.
But like,
That's 4 for me.
What is Nirvana rock?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
Yeah,
Sometimes
then
with music
that's-
for me, it like it's hard to like
Man,
categorize
and
them.
for me, it's like that.
Nirvana for me for sure.
Yeah, Nirvana's my number 6, but it's interchangeable with Rammstein because Rammstein has the
Yeah.
longevity, but Nirvana I can understand what they're saying.
Right. So there's somebody.
Sometimes I've been telling you, Bobby. Sometimes you just need a vibe.
I know,
Right?
So,
And that's the
I
vibe.
always tell my kids like when they look at me when we play Rammstein,
Yeah.
I don't know what he's saying, but I know he means it.
There was
exactly,
like a
exactly.
3 or 6 month period sometime in the 90s where like all the grunge shit came out. Like Pearl Jam 10, Soundgarden, Bad Motorfinger. What else was it that came? I think Alice in Chains.
Stone Temple Pilots.
So, yeah, they all came out like all those albums came out within like 6 months of each other in the 90s.
It was an onslaught.
which was crazy. I came up with 4 so far.
Velvet Revolver was it? Was it the other?
Oh, Guns N' Roses.
Yeah,
I was going to say Guns N' Roses,
That's
but like,
probably
I
my
like the
5.
collab brand a lot.
Guns N' Roses is in my top 10.
So there's 5 for me at least, and that would probably change depending on the day.
Yeah,
didn't
but like
even
you know
look at
when you
anything for that.
expand it to like all time, like I can start rattling them off, right? Like
Yeah,
Queen
from
and
the
Pink
70s.
Floyd, and like like I can.
You know,
Aerosmith?
Are the
Aerosmith
Eagles considered a
Yeah,
rock?
yeah,
band?
yeah, yeah.
And you get kind of like,
but
all right,
I wouldn't put them in our lifetime.
No,
Sure.
they're not.
You know, just like Queen spilled over into the 80s, but Queen is a 70s
I mean,
rock band.
and David Bowie is a 70s rock band.
He is definitely, but
Rock act, rather.
correct. But Bowie rocked from the 60s through the 90s. You know, Bowie's on the fucking 7 soundtrack. You know, that motherfucker's different.
I mean, that's what I was thinking about Aerosmith. They've been around for
Yeah, they're another
like decades.
Oh,
you know what's responsible for the resurgence of their career?
Armageddon?
Walk This Way,
Oh, walk this way.
the Run DMC record.
yeah.
I don't know.
So I feel like my taste in music has changed so much.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's normal.
Well,
That's
mine
your-
has, but it has also stayed the same because I still listen to a lot of the same shit.
Yeah, I mean, I still listen to some of the songs because they have, personal kind of like go back to remembering that time. But like, I used to be into like, Black Flag and Anti-Flag and punk,
Punk. That's
and then 5 years later, I'm listening to gangster rap, and then 5 years after that, I'm hardcore rock, and then I had a country phase that we don't talk about.
hey, listen, there's nothing wrong with that, buddy.
That's
there's a
like
lot of
that's
wrong
like the
with
inverse of Chris Gaines.
It's what if we're in the Chris Gaines singularity right now?
I'm in my Chris Gaines era.
Burn it down. And then like I remember like the Strokes.
Yeah.
It was a great band. Are a great band. I don't know if they're still playing. But yeah,
Yeah. All right, just a little exercise.
I liked your 10.
Yeah,
That was
Yeah.
yeah. You know, it's
I was wondering why. I was going to ask, like, why did you decide to post that? But I guess it makes sense now that you had a conversation.
yeah.
I
we
thought
were-
you were just drinking a bunch of wine.
well, that it was both.
Okay.
But
Yeah, it was definitely a wine post,
yeah, but it was actually like
not a crush post.
no, it was a
These
wine post for sure.
motherfuckers.
So, yeah. So
First
like,
of all,
yeah, you're right. But I so like, I'm just gonna read a bit of this conversation because it was good, and because I said to Jessica, I was like, look, I like a lot more because he saw the Metallica show, right? They're on tour right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, I'm with you. But he said he had a great time. He was critical of some stuff that needed criticism, but I'm with you.
I mean, I
I'm
saw them like maybe 7, 8, 10 years ago, and that was already like
I'm with
roughing
you.
it.
I'm with you. But anyway, I said I like more rock songs than I like rock bands. You know, like, and then I said, he said, you think there's a super huge difference between Tool and A Perfect Circle? Because I have them separate on my list.
I think there is.
And I said, yeah. I said, I actually think there's less difference between Tool and Sleep Token than Tool and A Perfect Circle, just in the sense of like both of them have songs that go on this journey. Like, whereas Perfect Circle is usually just kind of straightforward rock records, you know?
Right.
And then, anyway, he said as a kid, he really hated Nine Inch Nails. He appreciates them now as an adult, but he has to say that there's something about Sleep Token that he doesn't like in the same vibe as Nine Inch Nails. And I said, interesting. I said, what do you think it is? He said, it's the fact that it was this techno version of rock music. It just felt like cheating to me. There's something about Sleep Token that gives me the same vibe, like it's cutting corners and not earned in some weird way. And I'm not saying I'm right at all. As a more mentally sounding adult, I lean into things and try to figure out why I feel this way versus just saying fuck these guys. And I say it's interesting, man, because I think Sleep Token could move to my number 3 spot and push Tool down to 4 if they used more synthesized elements. Some of the super instrumentation stuff they do turns me off. I know Maynard is a better writer than Vessel, but I think there's more soul in what Vessel writes than what Maynard writes, and that always connects more to me. It's like Mos Def versus DMX.
Oh, that's a swing.
Wow, that's a
You know what I'm saying? And he was like, right. It's interesting to me that I feel like you come to rock metal music from a hip hop perspective, and I go to hip hop with a rock metal perspective, and that bit like flipped a switch for me to like start thinking about how I approach it.
It's like the Devil's Night soundtrack all over again.
Oh God!
I pulled that out the other day because Mason and I were talking about like the how we kind of came to be where like Linkin Park and where you'd have the hip hop elements in the rock. And I said, this album was kind of a landmark that these hip hop and rock artists came together. There wasn't particularly good music that came out of it, but the fact that you had these artists coming together.
Yeah, there was obviously records and stuff before that, but that was a whole project.
But that was a whole project. First time somebody had done like a whole rock project.
I'm trying to like now off the top of my head, like I'm just thinking about the ones prior.
Well, Walk This Way.
Walk This Way is a big one, right?
Yeah.
Bring
the Noise.
Bring the Noise. Public Enemy and Anthrax.
From Coast to Coast.
A Slam remix. There was a remix of Slam with Biohazard, and then Biohazard and Onyx were both on the Devil's Night also.
Hold on just a second. Tell me if I'm wrong here. Biohazard and Onyx have the exact same energy. Like if you just think about them on a wavelength, they're like, that matches up. And sometimes it doesn't necessarily match up.
So, fun fact: Sticky Fingers of Onyx has one of my top 5 rap verses of all time. I know it's a bizarre pull. It's on Shifty. It's one day I'ma rule the fucking world. Mark my word, I got the filthiest shit the human ears ever heard. Even if you wash my mouth out with soap, I'll still be as disgusting, despicable, unpredictable, liable to flip my lid. My mom dropped me on my head when I was a kid, and then I lost all my marbles. Today I lost my tonsils, and since it's Armageddon, somebody's bound to get robbed. And watch out, it could be you. I believe. Put a gun to your face. It's better to give than receive. More than me, CI, energize, make your blood pressure rise. Mad face and no disguise, skies. And it's I could just.
So you can pull that out.
So are you? Hang on a second. I have a question. Are you seeing these words in your head when you're saying them? Like,
yeah, I see. Yeah,
because it looked like you were reading.
Yeah, I can see the moment that I like got to. I can like see the moment that I like it clicked for me. But yeah.
So when you said first of all, the thing that I've been hearing in my head is "fuck your bitch" and the click.
Yeah, West Side Till I Die. Yeah, that's anytime I hear first of all. So I actually sent my wife because you guys know I do it here. I hear something and I have a lyric for it. And my wife fucking hates that I do that. And I think it was a TikTok that it literally was, this is how my D Mine Works.
HDTV Mine?
HD Mine Works. It ain't working right now. It ain't working right now. Yeah,
Is when he orders printers and cutters.
that's it. That's it.
I fuck with Jaina recently because we're all going to the Sleep Token concert in September, and we're all looking forward to it. But like of the 5 of us, Jaina is probably the her fan level is the lowest. Like she fucks with them, but it's not her number one go getters. The rest of us like super fuck with them, right? So she put on her Instagram, like because we always write each other back and forth and send each other shit, and she put on her Instagram, like in her whatever, put it on sleep mode. So I like screenshot it and put it in a meme, and I put it was Jaina's in sleep mode, and then I put Vessel from Sleep Token like underneath. And then she just sends me back the dead, like the skull emoji back, like she's fucking dead, and the withering rose. She always sends me like the withering roses. So anyway, Chris, you arrived first. Joey, how was your nerd week?
Finished Elementary, which is that Sherlock
The
Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes show. With the female villain, or was there some change with the villain? Is this the one?
Yes, Dr. Watson is Lucy Liu,
Oh, okay.
and Moriarty was a lady.
Okay.
Doesn't that show come on CBS? I think it comes on CBS.
I don't know.
More,
It's-
more,
it's
more
17
like more a lady. You know what I mean?
Seven.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
It's 7 seasons, and I thought it was good all the way through.
Good.
The ending was like, it was decent enough ending. It was. I just wish they brought back Moriarty more towards the end, because they introduced Moriarty like in the 2nd and 3rd season, and she was great. She was a great villain, a great character. And the last season felt rushed, and I think it was because it's half as long as all the other seasons. Like, so I guess they had to wrap up. So like the main antagonist of that.
I think that lines up with the writer's strike.
Oh, was it? Because the antagonist
think
was
that just
interesting,
ended.
but then they seemed to like have rushed through it. But I enjoyed this series as a whole. It was a good journey. There's not many series that's like I watch all the way through and it's good all the way to the end. But yeah, I recommend it if you like.
Gotcha.
If you like, kind of murder mystery, episodic, but overall overarching story type deal.
Because that's what kind of got you on the Sherlock Holmes tip in the first place, right? Like
Yeah.
you were just
Yeah.
following the murder mystery.
Yeah, because I
rabbit hole.
watched like the Benedict Cumberbatch one before that, and I like this one much more.
So if you like that formula, I have something for you. Murder, She Wrote. You see, it's a
I used to watch
65-year-old
it.
woman.
I used to watch it when I was a kid.
Lansbury.
Yeah, I used to
Kelly and I watched some of it during COVID.
There's a-
just because it was like,
What an opening song too.
Krista has one line for us. I think it's newer. That's like about cold cases or something. I don't know. We're going to try it.
I mean, there's a series called Cold Case.
Yes, that's.
Next thing you know, Joey's going to be like, we're watching season 22 of NCIS Las Vegas.
Wait, I used to watch it like when I would visit my parents and have dinner or whatever at the house. We would watch
CSI New Orleans in season 14.
NCIS, CSI Miami.
You can
Oh,
also
there's
give
so-
air disasters a chance.
Listen,
So see, these are things I already watch
They're
just
good.
like sporadically.
I only fuck with these shows if they have the Who as their opening.
But yeah, so we're gonna watch that next. But I watch true crime stuff, actual true crime stuff all the time. Like,
Right.
This my driving, my hours of driving is like creepypastas, stories, narrations, and true crime interrogations.
Speaking of driving, did you guys see the new law that went into effect like this week?
Which one?
The hands-off phones. Like if they see you even at a stoplight with your phone, they can fine you $50 on the spot.
Good.
But you got to pay it on the spot.
Yeah, no, they could just find
Hey,
you.
cash, grass, or ass, no one goes for free.
Yeah, that shit's a fucking problem.
Jerking off
That-
a bunch of cops because I don't carry cash on me.
Like I was like reading some report recently about like how many motor vehicle collisions are caused or at least related to in some way phone usage. And I
Yeah.
mean, it is a staggering.
So yeah, I'm not surprised by that, and like people should really learn to use voice commands because we have AI now.
Right.
Just do it.
And even before
That was
AI,
okay.
we had voice commands.
Yeah, I mean, it's much better now. You can just tell it to do stuff. You can just put it on your docking and then be like, and then what I'm not a fan of, but I understand why people use it. Is it's a European thing, I think, sending the voice messages.
Oh yeah, it seems like a European
It's Cody.
thing.
It's Cody. I'm calling you. You're the only one who sends me fucking voicemails.
Irish Andy sends me them from time to
Just-
time. Like
it's one more step, man. You can like talk to your phone and then tell it to send us text. and then I will read it.
I'm with you.
I will 100% read a 10-paragraph thing faster than I will listen to a 5-second clip, personally.
So
10
when you were doing
paragraphs.
this, when you saw the statistics, did it break it down by anything else?
No.
Also, okay,
Not,
so
not
and this is what
it was women. I'm sorry. I'm kidding.
and this is also what my thing's been when people have been complaining for a while now that they don't want fucking self-driving cars, and my argument was always like, I think the self-driving cars would probably make less errors than some of these people on their phones.
Oh, 100%.
Because
Yeah.
at least the fucking self-driving car is trying to pay attention.
It has no other job.
Unlike me, who's fucking
It's not trying to order
watching
Pokemon
fucking-
cards.
They're fucking up. They
Netflix.
are fucking up traffic.
Catch a
though.
Mezco.
Yes, I'm just saying, like, some people are just anti the idea of it. I'm
Right,
just like,
right.
it's not ironed out right now, but I look forward to the day when all the cars strap themselves.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So I'll tell you, in Phoenix, they have a company that I don't remember the name of it, but the self-driving cars are like the Uber there, and they're little Jaguar SUVs, which is the strangest thing in the world. And you see them everywhere, though.
Yeah,
It's fucking
I
crazy.
think what more is a problem of logistically getting it done. It's not making cars with good technology. It's getting a government to make good roads with good fucking paint jobs on the road for the fucking AI to read. Because now you have to interpret
Well,
that
soon
shit,
it'll
right?
just be a bunch of QR scribbles on the ground that we don't understand that the robots read to drive us around.
yeah, and then before long
Won't
they'll
be
just take
stoplights
over, and then
anymore.
we can't read anything, and then they'll be obsolete.
And we turn into little energy factories.
That's
Yeah.
right.
In the Matrix, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't wait.
Which I'm for.
No, I'm 100. Plug me back in.
Dinosaur
Like,
eats man. Women inherit the earth.
Guys, listen,
What a nightmare.
we can have all these thoughts and hopes and wishes, but whatever Chris Gaines says goes. So we're waiting. Let's start a religion.
Cult worship.
Now, all we do is we silently listen to that album, and that's the entire service.
I mean, just looking at his
and then,
face
and then we write.
makes me angry.
Does he not look? Does he not look like? But does he not look like a contemporary Christian artist? Though?
He does.
So maybe he's the Messiah, and we just haven't figured it out yet. So let's.
I hate him.
He looks like
Are there
Zoolander.
lyrics? Are there lyrics to the songs? Because we could run those through. I'll run the lyrics through AI. It's like I need to create a gospel based on the songs off of
they
Chris
are.
Gaines' greatest hits album
The only one.
so far.
The greatest Chris
Hold on.
Gaines album.
Here's the big miss in the world. With all the technology we have, why is somewhat not AI filled out the rest of that?
Oh, just
catalog?
wait. Just fucking wait.
I think I have a new project.
Because there's no market
Now
for
that
it.
you've said it out there,
Nobody wants to hear anymore.
What do you think? What do you think 2025 Garth or 2025 Chris Gaines would look like? Would he still look like? Is he timeless?
he could. Well, no, it's just
What would he
like
look like?
Trent Reznor.
Well, except Garth Brooks is fat now. So. Now he'd look like a fat youth pastor.
Oh, God, I hate him so much.
Looks like he'd have been a villain on the
whole idea.
Gemstones, Bobby.
He's just staring
This-
at me.
He'd have
and
been
I'm
a
like,
villain on the
fuck you.
Gemstones.
Yeah, he could be. He could be.
All right, now he's just haunting me with those eyes peeking through that.
It's
emo
that soul
hair.
patch for me.
I love it. Flavor saver.
The whole
I'm not
thing,
talking about yours.
The
I'm talking about
whole
his.
thing is
Flavor saver.
perfect.
Yeah.
Like, they couldn't have put this together better.
For those listening, we were gifted a CD copy of Chris Gaines' album from
Paul-
Garth Brooks.
Paul C.
and it's-
Paul C. hooked us.
Yeah, from Paul C.
I think
and
it's the only head-
It's, and it's currently sitting in a detox shelf in my basement.
It might be
If
the
you
best
just look
detox
up-
shelf in the entire house.
If you just look up Chris Gaines, that's the one picture. That's the picture that's on my tank top that I got.
Yep.
Oh, this is something I forgot to mention last week in Japan. So, like, there are these little pods. Japan, baby. They're like phone booths, but fancier. Individual pods. They're like cylindrical, right? You can get into them, right? You can't see through them. It's all plastic.
Okay.
And I thought they were for sleep. I thought you like fuck people are traveling and shit. You go in there and take a nap because you had to pay for it.
Okay.
By time. But comes to find out, Crystal was like, no, those are work booths. Those are for you to work before you work and work after you work.
Work?
No, no, there's
You know that ain't the case.
There's there's cameras in there.
What?
There are people watching those to make sure like
You're not jerking off in 'em?
not jerking off, and like not sleeping. You're supposed to be in there to work, like so they'll make sure. And it's also time, so like that's how we get the fuck out if you pass the time. So like there's someone's job to watch those booths apparently. But that's what like
It's like
I was
it's like the
saying.
lap dance rooms and strip clubs. Like you can't get any fucking privacy.
But yeah, I was trying to clear the point last week. I don't think Japanese culture is superior to the American culture, or the other way around. I think they both have pros and cons.
Yeah.
The work culture is horrendous. I was just saying that like my day-to-day life is that I prefer to be there, but I don't think they're superior by any means. Their bad shit is really fucking bad. That's the reason why they have a declining birth rate. I don't know what's going on with it. And they're super fucking xenophobic.
So I watched some guy that does. He's touring Japan and he does like $50 a day and shit.
Oh yeah.
And he'll stay in those, I don't know what they're called. It's some chain of like
The capsule hotels? Yeah.
And it's like if you check in after 6 and leave before 6 a.m., it's like $20 for the night.
Yep.
Is it kind of the same thing you're talking about, or is
Kind
it
of. I think it's
just
maybe
for like
it's just for work. It's just so you can work before you work and then work after you work before you go home.
Jesus.
You gotta
That's
pay to
fucking
work.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because you got more work to do, bro. And fucking 10, 12 hours not long
hey, those
enough.
sheets ain't gonna spread themselves.
I mean, a lot of people don't go home. Like they work and then because taking the train or whatever would be too long or too late, they would like stop by a capsule hotel, sleep, and then go back to
Well,
work.
and the other thing is, as technologically advanced as theirs, I work with a multinational Japanese corporation that still runs their system off DOS.
That's the thing. They're super advanced but super backwards. They still use a lot of places insist on using paperwork. Like actually, you have to fill out forms.
So fax.
Unlike applications where you would prefer electronic applications and not handwritten applications.
So this sounds awful to me.
And yeah.
But when I'm using my Sony Blu-ray player, it sounds pretty great.
Yeah, that PlayStation hum.
So they just ship.
And they also fax stuff. They have actual fax
They
machine where you
just
put
ship all
the
the
paper in.
technology over to us.
But no, they have the technology too. Because I was in restaurants where they have robots who are like doing a lot of things. So like it's a weird dichotomy where they have a fax machine and a robot at the same time in the same place.
What is their business attire like?
I don't. It depends. Like they all have uniforms. You can tell when someone's working at a place.
No, but like in an office. Did you see a lot of people walk around in suits?
Yeah, there are a lot of people walking around. It's just you see a lot of bros like with the ties around their heads, like fucking like hamming it up at night in the izakayas, and like that's
Hamming it up to me is funny for some reason.
that they do have a part of the bad work culture is like they do loosen up, but then they all just go to the
Back to work.
Go back to work. They would like all the work buddies. It's like happy hour, except it's like 9 to 11 at night, and then they just party it up and drink, and then sometimes they pass out on the streets, responsibly drunk.
And then they're like, oh,
They don't cause a ruckus.
policeman
outside.
wakes them up, wakes them up in the morning.
no,
like,
no.
hey, time to get back to work.
No, I think they just
just
I think
throw
they
'em
just
in the
get up.
pod.
I think they just get up and go. Yeah, go in the pod to work. But yeah, they just don't like not much public nuisance. Even though they ham it up in the bars.
See, ham it up has a different definition to me.
What
Like hamming it up would be like exaggerating to make something.
It's probably
To me,
meeting
it's like almost like
and not
being,
using it
being silly,
properly.
like being silly.
Yeah, that's why I was using it as.
To me, is when I think hamming it up, mean like being silly,
I have this note here. There's so many fucking retards here. I
Silly-
think that's just from me being in the airport.
silly goose,
That was
silly
one of the
goose
last
on the
notes.
loose.
Is it cheating if you fuck the ghost? I don't know why I wrote that. Is it cheating if you fuck the ghost? Let's say ghosts are real, like in like movies and stuff. And there's a hot chick ghost.
And you feel it and everything. Like everything is real except for their.
They just fucking disappear afterwards because they're ghosts.
Yeah,
You know
it's-
they're ghosts.
Yeah, it's cheating.
I'm gonna fuck that ghost.
I mean,
Two things can be true.
That's a different story. Whether you fuck the ghost or whether it's cheating,
Can the ghost fuck you and you not know it?
that doesn't count. That's rape.
You can't.
Oh, we said rape this time.
I think there's different rules.
This episode. We haven't said rape in an episode in a while.
Yeah, it's not since the Star Wars episode.
There was just enough rape, apparently, as Farrell said.
But yeah, I think that it's cheating because
They're not real, though. I mean,
yes, but you're doing something like secretive. Like it's you're fucking something.
No, I'm gonna tell Kelly. I'm gonna go fuck
sneakily.
this ghost. I'll be back. I'm not gonna be sneaky
that's-
about it.
So if you go fuck a human and you say that's not cheating to me. Like
okay, well, I'm thinking the ghost has less. I
right, so
don't know.
that-
Is the ghost gonna get pregnant and
Imagine this.
fuck your life up?
You're in your new,
my life up.
Fuck my life up.
You're in your new bed that articulates in all different
Don't get me fucking started on that,
And
bro.
Which almost has a life of its own, if we want to be honest.
And she's sleeping, and there's this ghost in the house, and it's
Just like appear ahead of you.
keeping you awake, right? And eventually the ghost.
Can it be the ghost of like Anna Nicole Smith circa
It could be.
1993?
no,
Anybody
it has to
want.
be the time she died.
Yeah,
Oh no, hold on. Is that the caveat? You look like you looked when you died?
Yes.
yeah.
Oh geez, no. This is gonna be
she's-
rough.
I mean, this is assuming it's
Aaliyah.
Jane Mansfield.
Yeah,
Have a
scared to death as the plane crashes.
She's just like this.
title. Marilyn Monroe.
So she eventually wakes Kelly up, right? And Kelly's like, Chris, just go fuck this ghost, so it'll leave us alone, because that's all it wants is your
dick.
alive dick.
I gotta say one more thing about Aaliyah. So she's
God.
oh wait, this is awful. This is awful.
Oh, come on.
And I love Aaliyah.
I
I
know
love
where you're
Aaliyah.
going here,
And
but-
God
Too
bless,
soon,
God bless her
Bobby,
dead
too
and rest in
soon.
peace. But Aaliyah's gonna come over to fuck you as a ghost. You know she overpacked.
Come on.
Oh man.
Fuck.
What are you moving in, bitch? I fucking.
She shows up with her ghost luggage.
Yikes.
Gracious.
I love Aaliyah. Rest in peace, Aaliyah.
I know I got the right outfit in here. Hold on.
What if the ghost is Michael Jackson? That's all you hear all night. And he's just moonwalking.
Yeah, moonwalking across
Bobby,
your
will you go
bed.
fuck this ghost so we can go to sleep?
I'm like, man, I might fuck Mike.
And he's like, no.
What if Bubbles is
Mike
with him
fucks
too?
you.
Sorry.
Oh, fuck.
I'd be like, hey, baby, with them loafers on.
And Laura's like, shut the fuck up.
Bobby's in there saying, "Call me Billie Jean."
I'm like,
Call me Billie Jean.
I'm like, man, fucking Michael Jackson shit. Laura, you want to fuck him? Like, we can all fuck him. It's Michael Jackson.
You can make a phone call. Hey, y'all. I know it's late or early or whatever, but y'all got to come over.
This isn't the dude that worked at fucking, whatever. This is fucking Michael goddamn Jackson.
What if it turns out it's just the dude that used to dance on the side of the road in Huntsville dressed like Michael Jackson? It's his
it's an
ghost.
impersonator?
And right after you finish, she's like, I'm actually not a ghost.
It's
I
Michael
just-
Trapson. Have you ever heard Michael
Yeah,
Trapson?
yeah.
Dude, how great is that?
That's great.
So you think your wife would be mad if you fucked a ghost?
Yeah, and if I did it sneakily and all that, like,
No, it's a one-time thing. Like, ghost showed up at night, and then
and I asked her, "Can I fuck this ghost?"
no. That's
Oh yeah, no,
It's
she'd be upset. She'd be upset. She'd be
anything behind the back.
yeah, it's
Well,
that.
I mean, you tell the
It's-
next morning. It's like I fucked a ghost
Yeah, but
last
still,
night.
it happened behind the back.
I'm gonna text Kelly right now.
Yeah,
and ask her
get
this
an answer
question.
for that for
I'm
me.
gonna text nobody. Hey Google,
I'm gonna.
can I fuck this ghost?
Wait, I'll call Laura.
Really, my
Yeah.
Gemini popped up.
So it says, I cannot assist with this request. My purpose is to provide helpful and harmless information that includes refusing to generate responses that are sexually explicit. Well,
Sexually explicit doesn't have to be harmful or unhelpful.
it's just Gemini being a bitch.
I don't use Gemini for a reason. Bitches.
Hello?
Hey, are you alone in the car?
I am not.
Okay. All right, never mind.
Okay.
Talk to it.
What's that supposed to be about?
Never mind. Don't worry about
Hello, I need to know.
Well, we'll find out the answer to that
Well, my
later.
wife will probably answer sometime before I go home, so we'll.
Okay. I was asked a question, and then my answer was unacceptable to everybody. That was at the time of conversation. I was asked if you could all of a sudden be proficient at all languages, or be
Hold on. Can we play a little game first?
yes.
Can you either write it down or whatever and say which one of us is going to be the same?
Oh.
You said that,
Okay. I
or just keep it in your mind, and then we'll give the answer and see if it matches up what you think.
okay. I have an idea.
Okay.
I'm gonna say the question, say what I think the answer is, and then go from there.
Okay.
I was asked if you can be proficient with all languages, like read,
Got it.
write, speak, or be proficient with all musical instruments ever, universally. What would you choose? And I said instruments easily. I think Bobby would pick instruments, and I think you two would pick languages, especially for your job, Pinkerton. I think that'd be useful.
Damn it. Okay, well, yeah, it would be, but I sure would love how to.
That's my
know how
guess.
to play a ukulele.
That's my guess, but you
What about
feel
a
free to answer
can I-
because like they were
Is
like
it that
they were-
long?
they- all of it, any instrument you can think of, even that fucking weird UFO thing that you can like fucking tap on.
Oh, like from Masters of the Universe, the live action movie.
Oh, I don't know. I see this thing on YouTube. It's
and-
like a big so it's like any instrument that exists.
Google Translate has me on the languages. I'll take.
That's what I said. What do you say?
Technology has me the languages. I'd love to be able to play the instruments.
I would choose languages if I could say it speak the language in the worst, whitest accent possible.
You can choose that if you're good at accents.
Donde
or not.
está la biblioteca?
But I want to have perfect Spanish with the worst accent.
Yes, I mean that's your choice.
Just for comedic.
How would you
value.
pronounce POLLO in your
That's pollo.
pollo?
Like your job though would be much more easier to not have to use Google to talk to people and then also just to read everything. It'll be that's what I was argued to me. It's like it'd be so useful. You can just like exist anywhere in the world and like be proficient.
So let me clarify. I'm definitely playing instruments.
Right.
Definitely.
Right.
There's
right.
not even a second
Not
thought.
even for me. Yeah. Too.
However,
Yeah.
I do think it's the less useful choice.
For sure, kind of.
For
but,
me personally.
I think that's the truth. Like
Yeah.
objectively, it's probably less useful. But like any instrument, my
But sometimes I need a little me time. Sometimes I need some things just for me.
and it's just I don't know because
So here's the other side to it though. Like, do you also get crazy artistic ability?
you just you can do all the
You can read music and play these.
you can read music, you can play it. I mean,
I'm
however
good.
artistic you are.
Okay.
I
There you
prefer
go.
that.
Yeah,
I like
because
that
you
too.
can
Then
go with
it
it.
still gives me an edge.
Because like okay, so like all the stuff you mix on GarageBand or whatever,
Right.
you can just play those instruments
Right.
without having to use those. So that'd be amazing.
Wait,
And,
do-
and
do
to
you
me,
get-
because
hang
I'm
on.
not artistically.
Do you get the instruments, or do you have to?
no,
No,
you
you
can
have
just
to
walk up
You just go to the instrument store in the Frederick Mall and just start.
and just like
everything
shitting on people.
just-
You can just go to the airport and start playing the piano, and everyone crowds around you and shit.
See, that would just relegate me to a life of cover bands.
Yes. Well, yeah, because you could be since you're proficient, you can endeavor yourself to be more creative.
But it's not like my.
Same. That's
It's not my forte. So like that,
Well, then
that would just
keep
be
your Polo
annoying to me.
Loco.
Where I'm just be like, I'd be like, yeah, I can play whatever fucking song. Like I would be the drunk piano guy at
yes.
some
There's a
bar.
song with
They'd be
Piano
like,
Man.
Yeah, sure.
You can play the harmonica part in Piano Man, which is most of the song.
I'll tell you what I would. Who is granting me these choices? Like God,
The Force.
or the Force. So can I speak back to the Force? Can I have a conversation with the Force?
No, I don't know. This is not my question to
I
begin
think you
with.
just have
what is, like my
box A and box B.
Well, let's say that I could speak back to
okay.
the Force for the sake of this bit.
Yep.
I would say, can I be half good at all instruments
Why would you want that?
and be half good
Oh.
at technology? Because I need a way to record the shit that I'm making.
Oh my god! Nope.
Well, so you
No,
hey,
this
listen.
isn't-
Once
this
you're
is-
good enough at the instruments, people will pay you to play that,
That's-
and then they have the technology.
Oh, okay.
That's true. My only caveat was that the instruments has to include voice. Like I have to be able to start not like be Whitney Houston, but able to like sing well enough to where everyone's like,
Okay.
Oh wow! This guy at the airport is playing the
I don't
piano
know.
with no shoes on,
It's-
and
So that I'll try. But if you're like,
but Joey already plays the piano with no
Barefoot
shoes on.
motherfucker playing the piano is great.
but I think maybe I don't know if you
Be on
guys
TikTok.
do you make music. Obviously, I don't know if you guys have any.
I've made music before.
Okay, so
It's awful, but I've made music.
but still, like I'm not good at the piano, but sometimes I tinkle on the keys. Oh, that's
Tickle the
Tickle the
ivory.
ivory.
Yes, yeah, I don't pee on my piano. Sorry.
or tinker.
Yeah,
on the,
yes,
and
Not
you
tinkle.
don't work,
Oh,
and you don't
my
work
jeez.
on it either.
You had
But
tinker.
it's like
tink-
it's a,
I'm a tinkle tinker.
yeah.
it's a different feel. It feels good. Like if I'm not messing up, or if I'm just playing,
Well, and you can play really well.
it feels
Play better than
Good.
any of us.
No,
can.
I mean, so for those listening, like, I think it was your old house. It was your old house. I was over there, and you like played me this like Force theme like bit that you were working on. Like, I loved it. To this day, I still wish I had a recording of it. Like, I loved it.
Oh,
Loved
I
it.
think it's on my. I have some of it on my Instagram actually.
Yeah, I love it.
But so yeah, that was.
Yeah, mine is strictly because I don't have the ability to write a song.
And that's what I was saying. Like I don't know if you've played instrument before. I have. Okay, so like you don't get the good feeling of like not even as a performance, but for yourself in the room just to play something. You don't have a.
So I had a hard time
Hi.
reading music. I could memorize
Yes, that's what I do. Memorize.
the and it sounded fine.
Yeah,
but,
that's me.
But like I couldn't be like, oh, this key would sound good here.
Yep, that's me. That's me too.
So
But
to me, it would be wasted for me because you could just get a computer to play something perfectly.
It's different. For me, it's different. Like when I play something, like I'm not even as talking about performance. Just when I play something with myself, by myself, it just I don't know. It feels
to
good.
me, I'm just focused on making sure that I remember the order correctly. And I'm like, did I do 100%?
Then why are we
did
like-
I get an A plus?
Why are we like the same person?
I do a good job.
That's
Yeah.
why. That's why I
Can I
play
have a
the
treat now?
Rock Band, right? You just like press the keys when the screen tells you to press the.
I have a trumpet at home.
But I just think that being
bought
able
it
to
during
walk into a
COVID.
room,
I remember that.
Just to
talk
fuck
to
around
anybody
with. Never really
with
did.
a
Right.
crazy white accent but speak perfect Spanish or perfect Hindu or whatever, it would just be
and understand
funny as
anytime
shit.
someone's talking shit, you just walk into a nail salon or whatever.
Oh my god, you're like the Andre 3000 of Mount Airy, just walking around with this instrument.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think objectively that's the right answer. But I'm instruments. But I picked right though for everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
So I guess I know you guys for something. I don't know if I mentioned it, but this was the last thing. I have some other shit, but that's not important. Your tongue knows exactly what everything you look at will feel like.
Say that one more time.
Your tongue.
Yeah.
If you look at something, your tongue, you can picture what it feels like with your tongue. Your tongue knows.
Like what it would feel like in your mouth, so to
yeah,
speak.
if you licked it. If you look at anything, you can.
Well,
and you
There's
can,
some surprises though.
Huh?
There's some surprises.
What do you mean?
I feel like there have been things that I have
Go ahead. Go ahead.
that I have consumed, where I imagined the texture was going to be one thing and it ended up being jarringly different.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's my last note. I just thought it was interesting and I thought about it. It was weird to me because I started doing it, and I'm like, yeah, I could lick everything. and and I'm not sure why that is. Is it because when you're a child you put everything in your fucking mouth, so you already have the library subconsciously in your head?
I like that. I don't know if that's it, but I like it.
Pinkerton's singularity.
He just
he
fucking-
needs to fucking get his mind out of the gutter.
But like, why is it that like we can imagine what everything feels like on our tongues?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess, but I guess I can also imagine what it feels like on my skin and on my fingers. You know.
My tongue, I feel, is more specific because don't usually use your tongue for that many things.
No, really just
I don't
three.
know about you.
really just three. Licking. Oh no. So licking. Eating, tasting while I eat, picking things out of my teeth.
That's part of flicking. I feel like you're licking your teeth.
No, it's because you're using it as a tool.
Okay.
And teasing you.
Or as an instrument.
Do you want to do one of these? Give you one of those, you know, with the
The raspberry
antlers.
with the antlers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought this shit, but it's not important. We can move on.
Okay. Farrell?
I have very little this week.
Oh,
Me too.
Well, I have more questions to ask.
I've
later
got-
if we need more questions.
I've got something big coming. So to
Ayo.
speak. So to speak.
Like here or are we getting replaced and we don't know it yet? Oh no.
Yeah, so weekend was pretty busy, and I ended up falling asleep Saturday night at like 7 p.m. It's like the first time in a long time that I slept for like 10 hours straight.
Wow.
You need those every once in a while, though.
Yeah, and but I woke up on Sunday at like 5:30 and didn't feel rested, which is for being asleep for 10 hours.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
So that kind of fucked me up. Where like the whole day Sunday, I just
Sluggish, ruggish bone.
yeah. But you know, I was hanging out with a bunch of people on Sunday, and including Jaina stopped by.
Yep, that's true.
And made dinner.
Uh-huh.
Had some London broil,
Oh.
and got into a conversation with Jaina about that she says she is picky like her father, right? But in
That's
a,
just worse.
She's worse.
in a different way,
Yeah.
right? Like it is not the same list of pros and cons.
Yeah.
In a very Gen Z way.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, no broccoli, no cauliflower.
Well,
And then we got into a long conversation about broccoli.
yeah, I mean, she's required. Well, she's not required. We don't force any food on our kids, but if she wants to continue eating sugary shit, she's got to eat the broccoli. If she doesn't want the sugary shit, she's welcome to skip the broccoli.
Gotcha. But yeah, I mean that, and then had some pretty crazy work meetings on Monday. But I haven't had a lot of time for it. Normally I'm like in my shop, you know, I've got time to consume content and everything like that. And it's been a lot of on the road running around. So just listening to YouTube videos.
Yeah.
You know,
Watching plane crashes.
but no, more like the political commentary stuff recently. But that's just because there's so much of it now.
Yeah.
It's too much.
So, but like if I'm driving,
Did you sound like Florence? Too much, too much, too much, too much.
so I did listen to the first 45-ish minutes of last episode back, and I don't remember what the joke was, but hearing you laugh, Bobby, on one of them, I was like, we need to make that a fucking goal to get you.
I wonder which one it was. I wonder.
can't remember what it was.
I had to listen back.
I got comments on the Kiko Man joke. Kiko Man while he was down. So that was a good one.
So I don't always listen back to the episodes. Every once in a while, if I've got like a long drive and I can't find anything that I really,
Sometimes it can feel like watching yourself masturbate a little bit. Yeah.
but sometimes it'd be like, you know, like I'll
What's wrong
think
with
back
that?
and be like, what did we even talk about for 2.5 hours?
I never remember.
Yeah.
Like I keep my notes now. I used to delete them.
Oh, really?
Like, I've been keeping them. Yeah, since I think all year.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just keep them that way when we're like, what was your favorite whatever? I can actually come
Oh,
up with
yeah.
them. Yeah,
So-
January 7th I started this year keeping
No
the notes
kidding.
every
So
week.
I watched a little bit more of Clone Wars,
Okay.
but I don't want to give updates on it
Until you've consumed
Yeah.
enough. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
that whole list. Just because, like right now, I'm still in that whole super childish.
Yeah. There's a fair amount of people that have hit me up excited about you trying the comic book stuff.
Yeah, I saw that comment.
And I've gotten DMs as well.
I saw the one comment about it, and it's like, listen, I'll give it a shot.
We're going to
I just want like
yeah, when you're ready for that, we're going to go about it a very specific way.
yeah. So it's like I just want people to know, like, if this is your thing, like if you love it, I don't want you to be upset
Yeah.
if I shit on it.
I know how dude.
Right, so it's like-
welcome to my feeling on Beast Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a kid's show, very, very much so. Especially the first.
No,
he's talking about the comic books.
I'm talking about
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize
Yeah.
we were talking about comics.
No, so I mean, like right now,
missed something there.
that was my first thought. Was like the first little bit of Clone Wars I watched. That it was all kids stuff, and everybody's like, "Well, it does get better. It does get darker and deeper." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm trying." But I'm saying, like, I'm
trying.
You know, I can't get any
Fair.
deeper, baby.
That's
you
fair.
know?
That's fair.
But when we get to the Marvel stuff, like, it's not my cup of tea to begin with.
And I think we should do DC first
Okay.
because it's smaller, so to speak. It's easier to consume, and I think you will
And
like
I'll be able
it.
to walk
I think
the next day.
Yeah.
And so many people play Batman.
And I
so many.
and I think that you will enjoy it more.
Okay.
Just knowing you, and I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't want somebody who's like, you know, like, I can't wait for Farrell to watch the fucking MCU, and I come in and I'm like, I watched it, it fucking sucked. You're like,
yeah. We're gonna start with the Snyderverse because it's only like 4 movies.
It's not too hot a take nowadays to like not like those movies now though because it's
because most of them suck.
now yeah we're like way
but I'm
past the
gonna
golden
watch,
era.
I'm gonna watch the classics that people love and be
Yeah,
like,
and
I
then
didn't-
shit on them. Yeah, and then we'll go into Marvel because Marvel's a bigger commitment, but it is a bigger payoff. You know,
Keep talking about this fucking payoff. Like,
Well,
you
but
know
the,
that
the,
if you
the
watch-
difference is it's
Hold
not
on,
like, it's not like Clone Wars though, where you got to
if you
wait.
watch, if
'Cause
you
the-
watch 5 days of Clone Wars,
no,
there is a 30-second payoff.
because the very first Marvel movie that you watch has a payoff. Like there's a lot of little payoffs, and then there's a large payoff.
I'm just
Yeah, but it's hard to describe until you because nothing like it has ever been done. Those first 3 phases of what Marvel did, you know, and I don't love everything that was made during that era, but nothing is like it.
Okay.
You know,
I mean, I'll give it a shot. You got to give me another 38 days to get through Clone Wars.
watching 10 episodes a day.
Fucking Christ.
Is that it for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Pinkerton, if you're nasty.
If I am, definitely. So Mason's birthday is today. Happy birthday,
Happy
Mason.
birthday, Mason. Bye-bye.
And I'll start with some Mason related things. Mason camped out and got a Switch 2. So I got to play a good bit of Mario Kart World, which is what it's called, and it's fucking amazing.
Is it really?
Dude, like
I knew you were excited about it coming.
I almost
so to
want
speak.
to buy
Really?
myself one just so I could play it.
How much was it?
I think it was right at $450, and he got his discount because he works at Target. So
I didn't mention I also camped out yesterday.
Yeah.
For Magic, more Final Fantasy Magic.
I saw that you was that the ones you showed you had opened.
No, this was something else.
How many people are in line?
I don't know, but I was. It was a virtual one. I've never done it before.
Virtual line.
Yeah, so like they
Virtual
have a
camp out?
kind of. So
Did you have to like live stream from your front yard?
no, I have to sit there and watch the screen for a long time.
Oh shit!
So like it was a countdown to release, right? Like on the site, and then as soon as it hit 0, the products came up, and I clicked it like a ad, shopping cart. You're in line for over an hour. Like
the queue, like-
yeah, which is smart. Instead of the whole site crashing and then you just like fucking trying to refresh, they have a system where they funnel everybody who's in line into this virtual queue, and but I literally clicked it the fucking nanosecond it came on, and I was somehow in the queue for over an hour. But so like you have to sit there. It said, don't refresh this place, don't leave your computer, because the time we give you is estimate, and once you're in the shop now, you have a limited amount of time to add your product and check out, and then we kick you out. So I just sat there on my computer for 3 hours, like staring at the screen. But I was doing other stuff too. But like, so I was in the virtual queue. I was sitting there virtually with who don't know how many people. I definitely jerked off.
So I've not so much.
I have two screens. I have two screens for a reason.
Not
I
so much
moved
to
the
jerk
waiting
off
screen to one side, and then
But I've done that with sneaker releases.
Yeah,
Where
that's
it'll
what
put you in a
I'm
queue,
assuming, yeah.
and then it says, "All right, you've got it in your cart. And basically you sit there for 2 hours for them to decide that nope, you're not going to get this.
And then you're like, oh shit, I have my credit card in the car. Fuck,
but it
what's
sounds
the
like this
CVV
system,
code?
like it gave you. Oh well, that's fucked me up too.
No, but by the
Yep.
time I got it, by the time I got in, there was 6 things I wanted. One of them was already unavailable, even though I don't know how many people could have clicked the same time I clicked. But like, I got 5 out of 6 things I wanted, which is more than content to then
Good.
hunt down the one for 3 times the price later. But yeah, this is the last Final Fantasy Magic release. But
Okay.
like, the prices are going crazy right now. These some of these. You said a Switch is $250.
No, I think it's $4.99 plus the games
Okay.
are $60 or something.
So a box of 12 packs of cards about this big was retail MSRP for $450.
Jesus
They're
Christ.
going for over $800 right now, and people are still
$450 is retail.
and the people are still
Holy
clamoring
shit.
to buy them. It's over $800 for a pack of 12 cards. And
Wow.
I was able to get
One pack of 12 cards.
one box of 12 packs.
Oh, I was about to say.
So 140.
Normally a box is like 30 something packs. These are like collector packs, so like they have more special cards in them. But it's cardboard all the same. I was able to pre-order one for $600, and that was like the lowest you could have gotten it for. But that's the thing, like there's a value. A box of cards, a Switch 2. A box of cards worth twice as much as a fucking Switch 2, apparently.
Well,
Because you can't even get them if you want to buy them right now. They're out.
it's all
but
in the eye of the beholders.
I feel like this is another one of those guessing games. Bobby, I feel like if you were to wait for something, you would much prefer to be in person so you can ham it up with the boys.
Yeah. Well,
And I'm like, I like this virtual line where I don't have to fucking go camp out.
so
at a place.
it would depend on a number of different circumstances, like how long, like the overnight camp out stuff. I'm
Yes.
too old for that shit. I'm too old for that shit. Like where you got to go the night before and the
Do
tickets
you-
go on sale the morning after. I'm too.
Do you
old
love
for that
anything enough for that right now? If anything in the world you can imagine right now that you were willing to do that
shit.
for?
It would be something unreasonable, like like I can't think of anything that I would just purchase.
Pop Smoke's back to life somehow.
for one night only.
Somehow.
For one night only.
One night only. Pop
Yeah,
Smoke is
something-
going to perform.
something like that.
Somehow Pop Smoke returned.
That's a good.
It's all been a ploy.
That's a good one too. But you would camp out for that.
I'd probably camp out for bread. I mean,
Yes, I would camp.
may have the opportunity soon.
Like I would.
I feel like you would have fun doing it.
So it depends. So if it was like, hey man, like you got
Like,
to get in.
the 4 of us go camp out overnight.
Right. Even overnight. Overnight is a motherfucker for me now. Like I'm old and soft and washed and trash. Like
What if we did a 12-hour live podcast during the camp out?
I don't think
We
I
have
could
a
do
portable unit. We're just gonna talk bullshit into the mic.
Yeah,
while
we
we're
have a
waiting
portable
on-
unit.
I've got battery packs.
And then we're gonna walk up and land line like talking to people. You
yeah,
love it.
yeah.
Content king, Bobby.
I know. I would prefer like if it was like a 4 to 6 hour thing. I'm in.
Yeah,
But, like,
that was for me. It was like,
Well,
but my thing with staying at home is like if it had some sort of like audible alert,
yeah.
then I could, and it would depend on like my schedule and shit to do. Like if I had a whole bunch of shit to do and I could do it at home and have an audible alert for when it was my time to just press pay, you know. But like if I had to sit there and look at, I can't do
Yeah,
it.
because the time went from over an hour to like 45 minutes and then back up to 53
I
minutes.
can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it because like even when I edit podcasts and shit, I can't sit in front of my computer for 3 hours. I got to like go and wash stuff down, dust things.
I clear my schedule for it.
My thing is like, who am I in line with?
Yeah. So,
Because there's a lot of things that I'm into.
What if it's just
well,
by
I mean,
yourself?
I don't
Mace,
connect
Mace,
with the rest of the
Mace was
people
with
that
his
are
friend overnight.
that's fine.
That was a plan all along.
No, but I'm saying like, say for Magic,
Yeah, I wouldn't have anything to talk about with most of the people who was in line.
like that would be a nightmare to me.
Yeah.
Of like, hang.
The smell?
Well, so but to me, the people that are in that line are either super into it
actually,
or they're trying to flip it.
Yeah, I feel a way about.
And the combination
Scalpers.
of those two is just an environment that I don't want to be in.
Yeah.
yeah, that's fair.
Right.
yeah, for me, like I can get enjoyment out of going alone to stuff, even if it was like a Magic thing.
Well, you talk to random. You like talking to random.
Because I like
people.
talking to random people and I like people watching and I like watching how people interact or are incapable of interacting. It's all equally entertaining to me.
Okay.
So if I have headphones and I can sit and watch people be weird,
Yes, you can.
I'm a happy boy.
So I also forgot. I went to a Magic event.
Yeah, you did.
Unfortunately, Friday for the pre-release. Like this is a stagger release, so this Final Fantasy. I'm all in. I'm fucking all in. They got me in a chokehold. I'm a fucking addict.
They got me in.
So like it's a normal thing. Friday Night Magic pre-release events. You go. It's an event. They give you pay prepay. They give everybody a box of cards. You open it and you make a deck right there and right then, and you have a tournament. Mm-hmm. And I went because I definitely want the box, right? Because you get pre-release item. So I went. I signed up for the event, and I got there, and then I was like, "Oh, can I take my box to go, please?" I could not.
I just forfeit the.
Yeah, I just forfeited.
You thought it was a pizza takeout.
Hey, bro, the last time I went at one of these events that I remember enjoying, it was like 15 years ago. I used to go to Magic on Friday nights, and I just could not with these people, man. They're fucking. I'm sure a lot of them are cool, but like the one that stand out, the loudest ones are like obnoxious or just like
Yeah.
awkward, and I'm just like, I'm too old for this.
Yeah.
And then it's not like
in.
they're young people; they're like people my age, but they're just
Yeah, they are.
You would love to listen. It was so awkward, dude. This one guy, some people are so not self-aware. So this one guy being loud, is like, "Oh, these Magic people are so weird." If you like, I go out and touch grass, and like I interact with regular people, and then when I come here and talk to Magic people, they're all weird and shit. I'm like, and I have heard the rest of this conversation before this. I'm like, you are that guy. You are the guy. I'm the guy who's normal, and I come here, and you are the fucking weirdo.
Oh shit! Am I the racist Spider-Man?
Who puts out that they touch grass?
Oh, fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
So like you try to flex on these nerds that you're not a nerd, but like you're a nerd, bro.
Well, that's usually how it goes, though, right? Like in general.
But am I that guy though? Am I thinking, am I that guy? Am I the weirdo too to a normie? You know?
I think, well, probably. But I think that, like, I mean, probably. But I think, like, even if you cut your hair, you'd probably go down a couple notches on the weirdo list. But, like, I think that, like, generally when people, oftentimes, not always, right? But oftentimes when people, like, over accentuate something, it's due to an insecurity about something else.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, I couldn't handle it. I had to leave. So like you said, you would hate it. You would love it.
Yeah.
You would just love watching.
Yeah, I would have tons of notes about these fucking motherfuckers.
No. So yeah, I just bought a bunch of cards.
Yeah. So Switch 2 is pretty cool. We played several times and a couple other games. So the crazy thing
How
about
is World different than normal Mario Kart?
so all the tracks are connected. Like if you do the 4-kart circuit, like you start out rolling in the second race.
Oh, okay.
There's 24 carts or bikes racing at once.
So if you're behind, you're fucked.
It depends. I mean, yeah, there's all the power ups and everything. There's some new power ups. There's a ton of new characters.
Oh yeah, the power ups that helps you
Like you can-
equalize.
the
if you're the last
stars,
person, you
yeah,
fuck
you
up the
can-
first person.
you can get the
That's so
bullets and the-
liberal.
So the cart, like if you guys have played Mario Kart, you go in, you pick your cart, you pick your
tires,
parachute. You don't do that shit anymore. You
Oh,
just
really?
have- but there's a fuck ton of carts. So they've got classic stuff, new stuff. And the cool thing about a lot of the tracks is like they'll go through the other old tracks. Like you'll see, hey, this looks like Mario Kart circuit from the original game that you're just kind of
that's cool.
cutting through it, and it all kind of ties together. And you can, if you just playing like verses or whatever, you can map out like
That sounds cool.
Pick your own track kind of thing.
Yeah, lay out your own race.
Just a little nostalgia too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hope they do like I hope they like roll out the classics. I'm sure we'll get one eventually where like because like my kids and I and my wife, like all of us, like played the new Donkey Kong game like as a family for like weeks and like had a fucking blast when I wasn't yelling. But
Yelling at the monkey on the screen.
goddamn stupid piece of fucking shit. It's the controller. It's the motherfucking controller. Who hasn't been treating the controllers right? Who hasn't been treating it right? Because my joystick's not operating properly. It's not.
The game's cheating. It's reading my moves.
Yeah, I'm a mess. Yeah, that happens.
So Mason, I don't know where he got it, but he has the Street Fighter collection for
Yes.
PS1.
Yes.
So we have been playing Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo through the PS. The only way this particular version of this game
That's got
is
the 4
available.
extra people in it.
Super Street Fighter,
Like,
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, and it's got the turbos and all that, and you can change this. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
I found out that like I think Blanca is like super OP in that game because he figured out he's got this little sidestep thing he does, like a little dance, like when you press back. But you can do that like through all the power, like
All the fireballs.
If all the fireballs and like Bison's doing his dive at you, you can like sidestep it kind of, which is crazy. So
It's a little Brazilian
a lot of
monkey
fun.
guy.
It's so bizarre how cool those characters are.
it is.
It's because they're super racist.
Yeah, but maybe. But I think that like
It's great.
it must be like a moment in time thing. I don't know what it is because I feel like if I stumbled upon not all but a fair swath of those characters now, like if I saw them for the first time, I'd be like, huh, a couple guys in kung fu suits, and I get it, But like, there's something about the way it's
just-
locked in my mind that it just seems so fucking cool.
And it's probably, you can probably debate Turtles in Time as well, but it was one of the last arcade, Mortal Kombat, I guess.
Yeah.
It was one of the last arcade games, like Mortal Kombat's probably the one behind it.
And Mortal Kombat
that
2
translated. Right.
Is the one?
Yeah.
And they straight up just have paintball mask on, a ninja mask, and we
Yeah,
knew it, but
yeah.
it was fine anyway.
Well, so
It was like a baseball gear for the legs, shin guards.
In hindsight, right? Like, so in comparison, like if I were to stumble upon Mortal Kombat characters today, I'd be like, these look fucking cool. Like, what's the story here? Like, so it's an interesting dynamic where like there's something classic about that Street Fighter shit that always seems cool. And there's also something very cool about how Mortal Kombat has continued to evolve and remain like kind of modern looking cool, And I think both of those approaches are very true to those franchises. It's
Because
interesting.
both those franchises are still going.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm on vacation, boys.
Oh, are you?
Right now,
I am on vacation.
You picked a shit destination, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will be gracing the town of Fort Wayne, Indiana with my presence Thursday through Sunday.
for
Why?
BotCon.
yeah.
oh,
yeah.
thank
So
God it's for a convention.
Whenever
Why would
here-
you go to Indiana for?
Specifically Fort Wayne.
God.
You know how you tell my certain lyrics? Like whenever I hear "ladies and gentlemen," I think this is Mambo number 5.
And when I hear ladies and gentlemen, I think
Is that Lou Vega?
got
Yes,
him.
Lou
It is.
Vega.
did I just pull Lou Vega?
I don't know.
Dear departed Lou Vega. Yeah.
I think
Is
that
he
just
dead?
took
Yeah,
like
he
30
passed away a
seconds
couple
off
years
my
ago.
life was remembering Lou Vega's name.
Mambo number
A little
86.
bit of Monica in my mind.
Everyone knows it, but I don't know what happened to Mambo number 1 and 4.
What about all them girls at DMX lists and what they really want?
Yeah, I don't
least 2 Kims.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm familiar with Mama number 5, of course. It was a massive record. But I don't know if I've ever heard it all the way through.
I mean, if you heard the first minute, you've heard it all the way through.
Right. But I mean,
just
I don't know if
different girls'
I've
names.
ever been in a scenario where I had to endure that song for 3 minutes and 45
Yeah.
seconds.
You've never been to like a wedding or something where they play that shit?
So maybe, but I've left. Like not left the event, but like I'll go outside and smoke or
Mentally checks out.
Or he's
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go. He's gone.
And then I'm like, this shit
He's
is wild
gone.
as fuck.
So so this past weekend, Brian Brink and Dom came up, down, over, whatever the fuck. And
a long trip.
We put together our rock boxes for this year.
You got an extra one. You can tell them about that?
And yeah, I'll talk about that in just a sec. So, historically, we've had some big deal thing we had in it this year. You know, I called it Rock Nation the Tariff, or Realm Nation the Tariff Wars, because you know we didn't do any figures, so it was a T-shirt and some tchotchkes, honestly, and we were very transparent about that. But it was fun just hanging out with those guys. Brian Brink had never seen Dodgeball.
Oh, really?
He has now seen Dodgeball.
How does it feel
Dodger
about it?
wrench.
I think he enjoyed it.
It's great.
There's the one part at the end with Chuck Norris and the thumbs up.
Yes.
He's like, oh, that's where that meme comes from. I'm like, yep, that's it.
Can he dodge a wrench?
Yeah, I think he can now.
He can dodge a ball.
He can
He
dodge
can dodge a ball for sure.
I like to break a mental sweat too.
This really happens metaphorically, but really.
It really happened. It's me taking the bull by the horns. It's a metaphor, but it actually happened.
I think it's something we put that movie back on again.
I love little beats of that movie, like when they're in Average Joe's like office, and she's gonna clean it out or whatever, and she opens up that closet and it's like filled with disheveled paperwork, and she's like, "This all yours?" And he's like, "Yep, it's what we call my keepers."
Oh, that movie's so good.
What happened to movies like that? Like
we
the
can't- they can't-
comedy
I
movies.
mean,
they
it's
can't
not.
make 'em
It's
anymore.
not. It's
Yeah, there's a lot of
it's
stuff in
not
there.
just that. Like I think, as time moves on, there are just things in general, not just comedy movies. There are things in general that's just like encapsulate its time, and this is a new thing. We
Well,
have.
like I guess my point
It's
is
like what's black and white movies. We don't see those anymore.
no.
Kind of thing.
Where's comedy movies now? What's the last impactful comedy movie?
Tropic Thunder? I don't know.
Same era.
I just came up with Talladega Nights.
I think the last big one,
Super bad.
the last big one to have like a lasting impact, and I'm not a fan of it, but necessarily, but I think it was The Hangover.
I was going to say The Hangover, but then that's in that same kind of pocket. I
Yeah,
think.
but I think it was right at the end.
And it was slightly different than the other ones.
Yep.
That was that has its own genre. I mean, that
I
has its own
haven't
era.
seen a recent comedy movie. I don't know even if at all, but on top of that, I haven't seen. I can't think of
Do
one
they
where
make them at
where-
all?
Where I saw a movie where I was just laughing my fucking ass.
Well, I mean,
off.
like,
have you seen something? Well, we got to put it on now and have a laugh.
I mean, like Happy Gilmore was just randomly on TV. I watched part of that this week. Too.
I think we don't need that as much anymore as a society because we have so many like memes.
I think
Like
you might
just
be
things
right.
to laugh, just random things to laugh at.
The
We just
cycle,
have
the
so much of
cycle's so
it.
quick, right?
We just
The
have
cycle's
so
quick.
much of things we just laugh at all the time.
I did see a couple interesting things on the internet that I thought I'd talk about. First was, you guys know who the mayor of Baltimore currently is?
I know his name, but
Brandon Scott.
Oh, I thought it was a chick. Oh, that shows how much I know.
Boy,
She was the
why do I know this?
district
guys?
attorney.
yeah, I
Or
don't
the
follow.
attorney.
I don't. Really,
Okay, well,
and I'm not good with
Brandon
names.
Scott's like, I think he's in his 30s.
Uh-huh.
He's a younger guy,
Yeah,
Baltimore
black
mayor.
dude.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
did a
Got a bit of
Wu-Tang.
a fro.
They did a Wu-Tang trivia with him. He knows his shit.
Oh yeah.
Like he named all the members. They were
Extended
asking like
universe?
how many number. Okay, ask it this. Yeah, Bobby's like, "Psh, I can do that. Okay, great. I can't. Right off the top of my head, I would struggle with it, and I guarantee you these two can't name all.
no.
How many members are in the Wu-Tang Clan?
It's
Well, it
debatable.
depends.
Well, and he talks about that actually. He
It's
breaks
whether
it
or
down.
not you consider Capodanno a member, and whether or not you still count, or you're just counting living members.
Well, either way, I just thought that was interesting. And the other thing was, it was this piece about. You remember the channel TLC before
Oh,
it
yeah.
was Sister
The Learning
Wives?
Channel?
It was the Learning Channel. So they had talked to NBC about getting some like dramas, medical based stuff like ER and stuff, and they're like, apparently TLC said we want ER, but TLC don't want no scrubs.
Fuck!
You see,
Fuck, that was good. I
Scrubs
hate
is a
to admit
TV
it.
show.
I hate to admit it, but that was fucking good.
Does anybody remember the response?
A
to
scrub is a guy who thinks he's fine. Also known as a busta.
One of my favorite things is Chris reciting lyrics to quote unquote urban records.
In my white vernacular.
Does anybody remember the response to Scrubs?
Oh,
I remember
tell
that was
me.
the thing, but
I do remember
I
someone
remember-
doing something, but
It wasn't great. I remember.
I thought it was great. It was by a group called Sporty Thieves. That was the name of the group. And it was called No Pigeons.
Oh yes, I remember. Yeah, but
think
like
I'm-
obviously it didn't fucking survive.
No, it didn't have the last because it was a kind of almost like a response like joke record almost, but like Scrubs was like a moment.
Well, speaking of disappointing, the Carter 6 came out.
What is that?
Thank God. You know what?
I was excited.
So I was too.
Lil
But
Wayne put
anytime
out a new
something
album.
like this happens, I'm always like, man, is this going to be another one of those things where I'm on the fucking one side and everybody else is on the other? And I listened to it. Like, were you there? Yeah, I listened to it, and I was like,
I didn't even get through it.
I was like, this. I did, but I was like, this ain't it.
Well, I mean, your boy Joe said that it feels like he don't have a team around him.
Yeah, that's
Like
probably
people.
true.
People, I saw a clip like, "Hey Wayne, check this beat out," and it was like a hokey pokey or something. He's like, "Man, I could destroy that beat." I mean, there's some good verses in there that he
Yeah, it's just the
hits some
overall
lines.
project. Like
It doesn't have a focus. I mean, you got Jelly Roll on a song. You got
you too.
it's a random. Here's my hot take. Wayne is a global artist. He knows he's a global artist, but I think he was trying to reach out to some sort of audience that isn't there. His audience is dudes our age. Realistically, that's
Did he
who
have Taylor Swift on?
No, but he needs to be. He
should've.
needs to be rapping about how it's backwards all the time and. His fucking knees are going out on him, and you know I had to go get glasses, dog.
Well,
or whatever.
that's the thing about introspective music, because Wayne does have some introspective records, but they're usually about women. Like his introspective records deal more with like heartbreak and or him betraying a woman and feeling guilt about it and stuff like that. He does have those
He
records.
does, and he also has party songs, and there's no like bangers on this album.
So, but I was going to say neither one of those are on this album. Like
Yeah.
the super introspective record where he talks about something that's kind of kicking around, you can tell in the back of his mind, is not on this
and
record.
there's not a club banger.
and like there's no a Millie on this record.
Mm-hmm.
There's no 6 foot 7 foot on this record. There's not that moment on
There's no
this
Mona
record.
Lisa on this record. Yeah.
Chris,
And-
I haven't forgiven you for that TLC Scrubs thing.
I mean, I had to give it to him. It was fucking good. It was so,
I saw
so many
it's
layers.
funny how I can take a meme and make it into something. And finally, I went and saw Ballerina, which is the John Wick spinoff.
Is it a movie? I thought it was a
It's
show.
a movie. Yeah, it was on at the theater. I went
How
and
was
saw
it?
it. It was fine. That's
Wow,
it.
that's not good. If you said it was just fine,
Story. The action was great.
words right out of my mouth.
So I will tell
That's
you
bad.
from a cinematography standpoint, there's a trope in cinematography for. All right, there's a fight scene. The protagonist gets in a vehicle and just drives away, and you do the wide shot. Right, you see them driving away. Well, they do that, and then about halfway through the pullback, T-boned. And then it pulls right back into it. I'm like,
that's cool. That's a cool move.
I'm not seen that before. That's clever because everybody's like, oh, they're driving away to the next
Right,
scene.
right.
Nope, boom, and another fucking action scene happens.
Nice.
The action was great. The story I thought was pretty weak. There's a lot more John Wick in it than I thought there would be.
Interesting.
And I can't, and apparently no one else can figure out when the fuck this, because it's supposed to happen in John Wick 3 and 4.
Well, the thing is,
like the time, it's like, how would he be here when? Because the entire John Wick franchise takes place in like a month,
yeah, like
or something
Yeah.
crazy like that. And
the
then they're
first movie
putting
was
another
like in like
story
2 days or some shit.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, so I did watch The Equalizer again.
The
The
first,
first one
Yeah.
Okay,
with Denzel.
I thought it was fine. It's the second one.
There's a third one too. apparently.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna try to watch it.
Well, that was
eventually.
my goal, was to get to the third one.
Or you're going to need a fourth one
Well,
to equalize it. Obviously.
Yeah, true. Well,
one good, one bad, one meh.
Okay, all right.
Feels like a
I'll
zero.
take that. I'll take that.
trilogy. But yeah, so we leave Thursday to go to BotCon.
Nice. I'm looking forward to hearing the about the trip when you were
have our rock party on Friday night. We have a space. Actually, we're not trying to shove in a room or anything, but
Good.
We're doing Bobby's favorite, like a white elephant swap, and it's a pajama jammy jams. Everybody comes in their PJs. I ordered some. I got some hef weight coming to my PJs.
There's no doubt
You
about
know,
it.
I the level of ignorance that I'm bringing to this event is
Atrocious?
It might be atrocious is one way to put it. I was going to say unprecedented, but it's going to be a blast. We're looking forward to
Nice.
it. There's a little bit of covert ops to it. I'll talk about off air.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to hearing about it off air.
So yeah, just remind me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it. Just gearing up. I've been 3D printing a bunch of shit to take. Some rock logo stuff. I've been experimenting with the printer, doing some different layers and stuff, just trying to get some different effects. Things thinking outside the box a little bit. So, been
Nice.
fun.
I got a few things, nothing crazy. So it's kind of crazy. This is kind of crazy in a different way. My buddy JR, for Patreon supporters, he has a 40-degree day coming episode this Sunday, or it would have been yesterday that you're hearing this. He had a daughter, still has her, but close to the time that I had Jaina. And they kind of came up somewhat together and blah blah blah. And you don't think about these things. Just like, yeah, Vanessa, she's cool, and whatever, she's doing her thing. Went to her high school graduation party over the weekend, and I was like, fuck, like, I can't believe that this is happening. But it was a good time. Dante was there. Shout out to Dante. So
On Facebook?
on Facebook, yeah. And he was there in person, and he was a blast. And JR was feeling good. You could tell he was proud, and it was interesting. It was just interesting to see, like, that's my friend, and he just had a kid graduate high school, his last kid to graduate high school. So, like, that's it. And
Free.
Yeah, and he was like, he's a very, like, reserved kind of person, like, kind of keeps his eyes moving around and his head on a swivel, and he'll cut up with you when he's private with you, but he's a watcher in other instances. And just to see him, like, on the grill and fucking dancing around and shit, and getting a little litty on the side, these
I've
little.
been sober for 3 weeks.
Wow.
What about the Japanese wine?
Do you get a
1 ounce of Japanese sake.
Didn't get you unsober.
Do you get a chip for that?
Oh, Japanese
One
sake
day
only.
or desire gets shit.
On that note, Mason and I were talking last night. Said to be Michael Jordan this year. He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, 23 is Michael Jordan's number.
Oh yeah.
And he
I know
said,
that.
"What's crazy is it'd be two more years. I'll be the same age as you were when I was born."
Wow.
It is. Yeah,
That's fucked up.
It's always wild to think about.
Do you know why I know Michael Jordan's number is 23?
Because it's on the sneakers.
No.
Is that why you know Roman numerals? Because of Michael Jordan?
Because I also take the bull by the horns.
Metaphorically and
And it actually happened. Anyway, he was drinking Orange Crushes, which was good to see. I wish I could have drank, but I had something to do that night, so I couldn't start early. I am going back to his house in a couple of weeks, though, for a remembrance for a friend of ours that passed, and I will be getting litty there.
The duality of man.
Yeah.
Graduations and funerals.
Yeah, well, so this is like this is my buddy Bass that died last year. We're just having an annual thing for him. So anyway, I say all that to say this about the party is, dude, like I said, he'll joke with you in private, but open spaces, he's kind of more reserved dude. So I'm getting ready to leave, and I was like, all right, man, congratulations and peace out and all that. And we're packing up, and he said, see ya. And I was like, but I'll be back in 2 weeks. And he was like, I miss you already. And it was something like, just to see that dude in that state where he was comfortable making a joke in a wide space. Like, I was like, man, this guy's in such a good place. And it was
good.
It was so good to see.
That's good.
It's awesome.
Let's see what else. So I'm watching a political show on HBO Max. It's a CNN documentary series.
which one?
I think it's called like Biggest Political Scandals. And it's a series. There's 2 seasons of it.
Does the first one start with Watergate?
No. And it's like it's usually it's like specific candidates that like the guy that got exposed for being gay. And
Oh, it's like people who never made it to office that got exposed beforehand?
No. People that are in office, like governors or senators or whatever. But like, one guy, like, it was a question whether or not he was using political funds, right? He got caught in it or whatever. It's just like these little stories of these little, events that happen that, like, you kind of hear about peripherally or like in the orbit of life. But like, they're breaking down each one. It's fairly bipartisan. They're doing Republican candidates are doing or members, and they're doing Democratic members and
This
such.
was Jake Tapper.
Yes. And anyway, I'm really enjoying
Fucking Jake Tapper.
I don't know what that
So the
means.
first
Jesus
one's
fucking
Blagojevich?
Christ.
Yes.
He's a clown.
Was he the mayor of Chicago or something? Rod Blagojevich.
Yes, he was the Chicago mayor. Yes, yeah, and they're good. They're bite-sized episodes, self-contained, and they're a little bit of information, pretty objective look at the landscape of it, and I'm quite enjoying it if you're into that sort of thing. Good to kind of have on in the background where you're doing something else because it's kind of interesting, but you can still sort of
You don't have to watch it. You listen
Correct.
to it. And,
Correct.
yeah. Perfect.
Let's see. I've been working a lot on music stuff recently because I have 2 Bobby Boogie Bops to do this weekend. One is my Father's Day bonus episode, which is always a drill update. So, what's interesting about that is that genre is really dying. The specific type that
Why'd you let that happen?
yeah, I know.
Is that because everybody's getting killed?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But the specific slice of it that I enjoy is dying. That like the kind that uses like that London sound is dying off. But so it's just funny that I haven't done an episode in a year, and I was looking at my track list yesterday as I built my set, and I was looking at it. I was like, I don't know how long the show's going to be.
I mean,
Do you have the white guy on the soundboard with the chopper style still?
Yeah.
Brr, bow, bow. That funky chopper sound.
you haven't heard that one? I mean, there's some things that are like an era to it. Like,
Yeah,
it starts and ends.
Yeah, that guy, he's a lawyer, and he looks at rappers that get charged with stuff, and he like breaks down their case on YouTube. And that song he's talking about is this guy K Flock. He's a drill rapper from the Bronx, and he was talking about this song that K Flock had. That was a pretty big song in the scene. And the beginning of it is like the music comes on, and K Flock's like, "Suck my dick," and he's like now. In New York, "suck my dick" means like, it means like fuck you. It's not actually a homosexual reference. Let's continue. And like,
So he understands.
yeah, but he's great though. But so we're doing the other one that we're doing because we alternate on Bobby Boogie Bop between hip hop and then non hip hop, right? In the non-hip-hop stuff we do, I like to cycle through. I like to do like classic bands. I like to do pop artists. I like to do whatever, different subgenres, alternative, whatever the case may be. So we're doing, I always give my wife and Jaina option to, this or this for next month. So I gave them Rihanna or Lady Gaga because it was time for a pop episode.
I think it's Lady Gaga.
Gaga, that's the way my father said it. And to my surprise, they chose Lady Gaga. And I know they both like both artists, but I just thought they liked Rihanna more, but I must have been wrong. So I've been doing a lot of research on her, and this is the first time where like all of these artists that I have a rough understanding of who they are and their work and their history and everything. But then as I dig in, I find out a ton of more information, and this one, nothing really new to discover. It's like everything I already knew.
Is it tough to figure her out because she has such a good poker face?
It's funny you say that, Bobby. I have a very early memory of being on this show where you had said something along the lines of you didn't let your girls listen to her because of the connotation of the poker face song.
Yeah, how things have changed.
I know.
I mean, it was a long time ago.
Well, it was
The
a long
age
time
different.
ago.
The age is different.
Yeah, and I think I had that.
remember that.
I had that wrong.
I think you did too, because at the time I'm like, I never took it.
What's
that
the
way.
context of it? I mean, I've heard the song.
So I'll tell you.
Poke her face.
I'll tell you in a minute. I thought it was about oral sex, right? Poke her face, because a rapper sampled it
Of course he did.
about oral sex. And they asked Lady
And that
Gaga.
was the first time that he had ever heard the song.
And they asked Lady Gaga why she cleared it. And he said, because he obviously understood the point of the record, is what she said. So I was like, oh, it must be that. And my kids were young at the time. And I am still weird with my kids in some sexual music. Like, I don't want to listen. Like, there's Little Kim records that'll come on. I'll skip. Like, I'm not doing that with y'all. But
The WAP.
what it, yeah, exactly.
Wings and pizza?
Perfect scenario.
Worship and praise.
Not that that's in my
I like
playlist
wings
anyway.
and pizza.
I'll just take the pizza, but I like wings, but I'll just take the pizza. I'm not greedy. But the poker face record is actually about hiding your sexuality. So she was recalling moments where she was fucking men and pretending they were women, and was keeping a poker face about it. And that's where which I didn't know. That's one thing I didn't know, to be fair. But most of it, I'm like, she kind of like just kind of almost walked into success. Like, she's like one of these people where like she had a couple little trials and tribulations to get on, but once she started, the world sort of rolled out the red carpet for her. And
She's talented.
She's talented, and I think she's artistic.
And she's she can talk.
She's charismatic.
Yeah. So
She's articulate. That's
So
what
my
I
question is, like, what do you open and close with?
Oh.
Well, can you give me a second song?
Look, yeah. So my choice is for the closer is So Happy I Could Die.
What about is it Telephone? She
Telephone
does
with Beyonce. Yeah. And my opener is Bad Romance.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think you can go bad with that.
Yeah. So that's that. Joey, I wanted to get an update on your balls.
Yes, I'm
I
into
saw my
ask
sack
as well.
doctor last week. It's fine. It's I think as of now it's sealed. As of last week when I saw my sack doctor, it wasn't. It's still not completely sealed, but she was like, "That's normal."
kissed by a rose.
Yeah, kiss on my sack.
We're gonna rub these roses all over.
But it was okay. So we always joke about it's a common joke about having an attractive lady private parts doctor, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I have one, and it was awkward.
Yeah,
because I enjoyed it, and I was like, I shouldn't. This is unprofessional. Like when she was like examining my balls, she was like
Well,
really
you don't
hands
have to be professional.
right. I don't know.
If she was unprofessional, that would be a problem.
It's fine, but like I don't. I feel like it was to me, just morally speaking, I feel like it was disrespectful.
So I don't.
To even think about it, because like she was really hands on with my balls and all
My
in it,
balls.
and then I was like, man, this feels good, and in my head, and I'm just like uncomfortable with that idea. Because not because of cheat,
Because
Crystal
insurance
doesn't
was
care.
paying for it.
Yeah, that too was zero copay.
One to make
But
banana
I feel like
cry.
it's disrespectful, man. There's this lady doctor who has obviously years of school, and this is her profession, and she's fixed me up, cut me open, and sew me back up, and I'm thinking,
Well,
damn, I like her handling my balls.
I like to call
You know?
her a female dictor.
Oh.
but I think like so I ironically I guess like I prefer a male doctor for that sort of work. It makes me more
Interesting.
it makes me more comfortable for some reason. Like, so I think part of it, I've considered getting 2 tattoos on my upper thighs.
Like butterfly wings.
So I am a.
Is this about the Amazon thing?
No. But I'm a grower, not a shower.
Same.
So I want to get that tattooed on my right thigh. Right.
Oh, the whole thing?
Yeah,
Grower,
I'm
not shower?
I'm a grower, not a shower.
I think the one person that knows that already, right? I would imagine.
Yeah, but
letting her know.
I would want the doctor to know.
Oh,
so then
this is for okay.
so and on the left side, I want to have a real 1-to-1 scale tattoo of my penis erect, so they can tell. And then underneath, I want it to say 1-1 scale.
That would be amazing. That's actually great.
So yeah,
I have also been contemplating a thigh tattoo,
I know this about you.
and it's just a penis hot dog.
Wait, is this one?
I like to call it a dick dog.
Is it the one bun on each side, and then you can close your legs, and it'll be a penis hot dog?
It's one side, so there's no both legs involved.
Okay.
It's just a hot dog bun with a dick in it with a little bit of ketchup.
Is the ketchup for Bobby?
No?
I think it is though.
I
will be.
prefer my hot
Maybe
dog
it will
with just ketchup.
I like a hot dog with just ketchup.
Yeah.
That is one way I do enjoy ketchup, but if I'm given the option, I'm going to put mustard on it.
So same, but
Off of both.
but if I'm gonna have 2, I might do 1 and 1.
So I might have 2 and put relish on one.
No, I'm not doing
Yeah,
that. I'm not doing
Pickle
that.
relish.
Chili
Extra.
cheese. I like on the signs
Chili.
for all the different kinds.
So
of
I have-
hot dogs.
I'm here for it.
I have one last thing of my nerd week, which is an adventure in terms of how I got here. But Phil put in our notes,
Maryland, Phil?
yes, as I am transitioning into the notes.
Okay.
Right. Phil put in our notes that Jared Leto, your buddy Joey, might be under fire for some sexual harassment, misconduct, assault,
Yep.
whatever, blah, 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 right? So I saw Phil post it. I saw the title of the article, and it got me thinking about dinosaurs.
Well, they're here to stay.
They're here to stay. So then I was like, you know what? I've been talking recently about showing Leia Star Wars because she doesn't remember it. So I was like, you know what? I don't know if she knows Jurassic Park. And then I was like, and then I got to thinking about Jurassic Park. New Jurassic Park movies coming, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I think one of the things that made that first Jurassic Park special was the different use of effects for the dinosaurs, right? Like there was some
real practical effect plus
there was some
CGI.
like there was like models, there were CGI, and there were actually. Is that your dick dog?
Jesus Christ.
There it is.
Perfect.
So there were actually, like in the Velociraptor scene, like where they're in the kitchen and you can see the feet underneath. Like that's a human, like wearing Velociraptor legs. You know, in my head anyway, I was like, I think that might have been a human.
Either that or something.
Right. I think that was a human wearing Velociraptor legs. So I went to YouTube to find like behind the scenes stuff on who did this thing. So this guy that did it, he's like a puppeteer, animatronic guy that played the Velociraptor. And then I was like, is this guy credited as a Velociraptor in fucking Jurassic Park? And he fucking is.
Oh, that's
That is awesome.
So I looked him up to see like what do you do after that, right? Full circle back to Jared Leto. He's on trial right now for a sexual assault case.
No shit.
The Velociraper.
Oh my God. Wait, is this a joke or is this real? I can't even tell anymore.
It's a joke.
Damn it, Bobby.
I was going to say that's what you do after you play a Velociraptor.
All right, where do we go from here? How did we get here?
We move on to notes.
It's Phil's fault. I somehow blame this on Phil.
So
Normally a good bet.
this fucking poop cruise.
Oh my God, I'm looking. Oh, bro, are you gonna get Netflix to watch this?
No, but I'm gonna watch it with someone who has Netflix. I'm in on this.
Bro,
This looks amazing to
are
me.
you sure you don't want it to be just 5 minutes? You're gonna be like, oh, 2 hours is too long for this.
So for those listening, it's a cruise that loses power. Big giant cruise ship full of party goers loses power, and within hours turns into chaos.
So I remember this happened, and I watched a lot of like I think TikTok was at the time. A lot of people were on the boat posting about it. So I just kind of scrolled through, and it was a nightmare. I mean, all the toilets overflowed.
Yep.
The whole boat smelled like shit.
Yeah, it was too
were
much coming
stuck
out
in
from
the
the
ocean.
showers.
Yeah, it was a nightmare. People were like sleeping on the pool decks in the rain just to get out of the smell. And
Dude, I think that's
I thought you were going to tell me they ran out of beer.
and it's a documentary.
so. I think if I'm remembering right, they opened up the bars and that didn't help.
well, and people
got
started
on that
fighting.
cruise.
Yeah.
You know, like, but
It's just like a regular cruise ship nowadays.
so it's like a documentary movie like about this event, and I can't wait.
I mean, there's so much
Tomorrow?
No, it's like June 24th or something. That it
There's so much to extrapolate from this, right? Because there are fictional movies where like people get stranded on an island or whatever, and like this is a real life case of like what happens if a bunch of people get stranded with limited resources, right? And also, this is kind of like microcosm what would happen in an actual apocalypse.
Yep, it is.
But like you have to think about the fact that if there was no rescue coming, how worse would these people be acting?
Yeah, yeah,
What if it was just a social experiment?
yeah. Hey, modem.
You never know. Them scientists.
While we're on the topic of things that I have seen recently, I forgot to mention this. I was hanging out with some guys the other day, some buddies of mine, and one of them, very funny individual, decided to put on Drewski's show Could Have Been Love.
Should have been. Or could have been.
Could Have Been Love.
Is this like a dating show kind of thing?
Yeah, so it's like
his record label is like should have been music or
Could Have Been Records. Could
Yeah,
Have Been
he
Records.
was in. He did some sort of talent thing here in Baltimore.
He does
Yeah.
it all over the
He does it all over the place.
Yeah, well, it was in Baltimore.
It's like Sausage.
So he did this one. It's like basically like a bachelor. He's the bachelor though, and they just bring in this cast of characters.
These hood
So hold on. Before you go forward, if there's ever a topic that could lead to cancellation, go on.
And I'm just reporting what I saw.
Okay.
But it's a cast of ladies that run a gamut of interesting. So there's an Asian lady, for instance.
Are we talking about like flavor of love variety?
Yes,
ladies?
yes. Except
Does
it's-
anybody shit on the staircase?
Not yet.
Okay.
So there's an Asian lady, for instance, that's one of the contestants, right? And she's pretty, very pretty girl, well dressed, sexy, but still has some class to it. It's not like a whore. You know what I mean?
The kind you think of to your mother?
Thick, like surprisingly, I'll just say it, thick.
She must have been from Southeast Asia.
You know.
Really thick.
So anyway, then she talks like this. Has the deepest voice I've ever heard on a naturally born woman. There's a little person, and et cetera, like there's all sorts of like like hood rat shit and like
Way hood rat.
yeah, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. It's Jerry Springer in 2025, right?
Amazing.
So episode 1, he like gets introduced to them, right, and sends them into the house, and then at the end of the episode, he gives them a rose and a nickname,
So it's Flavor of Love.
Yes.
Yes.
right?
Just so you know, this is who we're talking about, Joey. This is Drewski.
I thought it was like old Cisco.
Yeah. So and he's funny as shit.
Not Drew Hill. Not Drew Hill.
He's funny as shit. He's quick, clever, funny guy. Like I've seen him on like little social media shit here and there, but to actually watch, I was like, this guy's funny. He's charming. You know.
When he sent Pension into the house, hold on.
Oh yeah. So this white girl comes up and she walks up. She's in like this pink sweatsuit that's tight, you know, and she looks thicker than a Snicker, right? So the way that you get entry into this mansion is you come in, you sit down, he shares a glass of wine with you, and then if he likes you, digs you, then he gives you a rose and you proceed into the mansion, right? So she's walking up and she looks born to be bad. Right, so he's like, she's getting ready to sit down. He's like, "Oh no, you ain't gotta sit down. Just here's your rose, and just go take your ass on in there." Right, and she starts walking, and then now the camera turns to the backside of her, and her butt looks weird.
Oh,
So he's like, "Oh wait, come on back, sit down."
So, but the best part about the show is like, so you know, I mean, to me, it's like it's obviously partially scripted, but
I mean, all of these things are.
so like, you know, it'll cut to him like commentating on it too, and he'd be like, "Man, it looks like someone's pinching her ass."
And then so they called her Pinch. The little person they called her Nugget.
Oh my god.
Asian was Asian persuasion.
Asian persuasion.
There's this one of the hood rat girls. Is
One of
like-
the many apparently.
So there's
There's like 2 or 3 bit like heavy on it.
yeah, there's 2 of the, and the one she a big lady, and they say she's 6 months pregnant or something.
But she's always got her belly out.
She always has her belly out. Her nickname, Meatball.
But they let her in?
All right. And she makes
Hey.
it through multiple cuts.
In the words of The Wire, this is America. You gotta let them play.
What a myth.
Yeah.
It is fantastic.
It is
Sounds like something I would hate to watch.
It is awful and yet great.
But what if you okay, Joey, hear me out. You take all these people and you take them to England and you have them prepare baked goods. Would you watch it then?
Depends on how they act.
Drewski's should have been
cakes.
Could have been cake. Just cake in the back.
But look, this is something that I would never watch.
You happened upon it.
I would never watch it. I would never put it on. I would never. It's not. It is not the slice of humanity that I enjoy watching.
Correct.
And how we got here from Poop Cruise, we'll never know.
But because it's a real shit show. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
But this guy I know who is a train wreck in his own right, a beautiful train wreck in his own right, he was like, dude, we got to watch this. And he put it on. It was a room full of dudes.
Yeah.
And we all started laughing, joking, having commentary across him. It was a good time.
So
Nice.
one of the other great things about it is that there's the host of the show is trying to be like a clean cut white guy.
Yes. And he's funny also.
He's funny as shit.
Yeah.
Because it's so out of context. It's just
Yes.
like
And he's
hilarious.
obviously judging the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like he's clearly
So they
judging.
brought in like a professional.
No,
He's like a comedian. I think.
Okay, he's trying to be funny. It's not like ironically funny. Sometimes it's super funny when people aren't trying to be funny.
No, like
So they put them all into one room.
Yeah.
And there's a stripper pole in there, right? And there's cameras
Everywhere.
recording everything they're doing, and they get into a fight.
Is this on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he'll be like judging on the noise coming out of there, everybody is super happy to be here. And
That's great.
Yeah, it is. It's funny. But I won't watch it again unless I'm with this group of individuals and they decide to put it on. Alien Earth.
Yes.
I am very.
I might be with you. What do you have?
I don't know. I'm on the fence, man. I don't know
I
how
think
I
it
feel
could go
about
either way.
I
this.
think it could go either way.
It does like it's in like certain scenes it feels aliens, and certain scenes it's like what is this?
So
It's like doesn't feel like that world.
So I want it. I keep going through a roller coaster ride.
Yes,
with it. Like
yes.
so like in the trailer, like when the ship crashed,
Yeah.
and they all went on the ship. I was like, man, this is just going to be another fucking alien show where they're on a fucking ship. It's just the ship has crashed.
Yep.
But then they span out and they're like in a jungle.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, well, this is okay, but it's small, so it's still contained. It's like, who cares if it's on Earth or not, if it's trapped on this. But then they're like showing shots in the city, and then I'm like, okay, that's what I want.
Yes.
You know. So I feel like it could go either way.
But also, I don't know. This is supposed to take place like before Alien or something.
Oh,
It's
is it?
somewhere in there, and I'm like, this time.
It feels like pre-alien technology.
Right,
Alien, the
but
movie.
it feels like the timeline doesn't quite make sense because of like the way things look,
Seems to be going around.
and yeah,
Sure.
I don't know. And then like they're supposed to not know anything about xenomorphs. Like I don't know how they're gonna put it all together to where it would make sense as a greater whole. And also, again, some parts of it doesn't feel like that world, because even with Romulus and some of the Alien movies that aren't well received, at least the world itself
Even the
feels like
video
a
games.
universe.
Yeah, even the
Romulus
video
is weird.
games feel
It's
like
the
that.
newest one.
That's where you have to fast from sun up to sundown.
No, it's Ramadan.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Akeem Olajuwon.
I learned about that in high school because I went to military boarding school and there were a lot of Muslims there.
Like I've always said, one of my favorite jokes on Nerd Rage is trying to correct people on some wrong shit. God, I love it. But yeah,
so I'm tentatively excited and worried at the same
I'm
time.
gonna watch it.
This whole like consciousness transplant thing doesn't seem like a thing that would be in that world.
Yeah, that I agree with too. I'm gonna watch it because I committed to when I was drunk at 500.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna watch it, but
So I guess
you had it out.
I'm a man of my word.
see how it goes.
I was drunk, different me.
Next was the Ironheart trailer.
Ugh.
Trash.
I don't
This shit
care.
was like fucking trash.
I didn't watch it, and I don't plan to watch the show, to be honest.
I haven't planned to watch a lot of Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
Like none of it has attracted me.
Lucky.
Well, all the stuff that you're about to watch, I quite enjoyed.
Yeah, I'll stop
Yeah.
it before it gets too bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like
Stop it at the snap. Just be done there.
It was almost all
done there.
good up until a certain point, and then it was just.
And then
fell-
Thanos
wheels fell off
was
the
right,
wagon.
and they proved him wrong, and here we are.
Yep.
It'd have been funny if somebody goes back and recuts that Thanos is actually snapping just to stop the cinematic universe from destroying itself.
That would be great.
Anyway, and then the other thing I had on here, just in case you want to talk about it, any talking points, was the G.I. Joe Classified.
I didn't even know that was happening until after it happened, and there's nothing in that drop that I am concerned with.
I'm probably in on Slice and Dice 2-pack.
Of course you are.
But that's it. I remember do you remember the G.I. Joe ninjas? They did a bunch.
Yeah.
I liked them.
Yeah.
Vaguely,
Yeah, like purple
Why'd you ask-
ninjas.
why'd
And
you ask
it gave me
Joey?
American Ninja vibes, dude.
bro.
Yeah. Every color ninja that we had.
Yep.
Hey, we don't know what complains about a Mortal Kombat having all the colors of ninjas.
Right. Exactly.
Rainbow Brigade.
And what about Christmas
Exactly.
notes?
That's right.
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah,
excited for
You're-
that. That looks great. That looks fucking great.
So it was out of fucking nowhere. What's the name of this company? Owlcat. Never
Owlcat.
heard of this studio. They've done some 40K games.
they wrote Trader, which is good.
Yeah. Okay. So that's one thing I wanted to ask you: is that have you played any of these?
I have
games?
not, but I know of its quality being received well.
Okay. So they're it looks phenomenal.
Yes, it looks fucking great. It looks like it looks expansive.
When everybody's saying it looks like Mass Effect.
That too. But like Mass Effect, as sci-fi as it is, tries to ground itself in a lot of ways.
So
I don't
the
So like I can see the crossovers of that feeling of Mass Effect is just like an more aliens version of the Expanse. I
Yeah.
think with more alien technology involved. Well, the protomolecule, right? Like how they have gates and stuff. It's the same as Mass Effect, where like they
Gotcha.
found the fucking. Well, I guess you don't know about it when they found the portals of how to interstellar travel, but it's not their technology; it's somebody else's technology.
Mankind's what fucked it up.
Yeah,
it's almost
Mankind
like the
fucked it
ring
up.
gates. Then,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So I can. That's definitely parallels there.
So the way they're talking this sets up is they're on Ares when the shit goes down. Eros when the shit goes down. And the story takes place during the Expanse. And there's probably
That's cool, I like
spoilers
that.
here, but one of the packs that you can buy, you can buy Miller's costume, and then you can buy Miller's costume.
Oh,
but the one I'm debating on getting is the
ship.
$289 collector edition that's got the art book, collector's box, the ship, some medallion stickers,
Put
and
that together while watching The Expanse for the 48th time.
maybe. Actually, I already have. This is actually the Tachi, which I don't have the Tachi because they only released it at
Tachi Station.
Collector Club. Close.
I mean, Hitachi's the main chip.
Right, but
Before it
I
was
have
tra-
I have
before it
the
was converted.
Rocinante,
Yeah,
but I
just
don't
like
have it
before
in
it's
the
converted,
yeah. So
I'm interested.
I'm very interested. I
and
mean,
then I'm
there's
sure
no-
Bobby's interested because like we've already talked about Expanse twice now. This episode, so it's coming
Right.
back.
Well, actually, I'd rather play the game than watch the show.
Let me ask you a question, Joey, because I'm relatively new, all things considered, in getting back into video games.
You've been
they-
playing. What do you mean getting
Yeah,
better?
you
You
can-
you
well,
played
I'm just-
850 hours of
All
the
right,
fucking Cyberpunk.
let me reframe the question. Drops, video game releases. Like, okay, so they've already put up the pre-order for these collector editions and all
If
these.
you want
other-
that, get it now.
I understand that. I understand that. But is that usually indicative of something coming out soon? Because haven't heard a timeline on this. When it's coming out, or is it just
That I don't-
I pay $300 for this and it's a year and a half before it comes out?
If there's no date, you don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a matter of that's why they put out information like the collector's edition and stuff, so people pre-order.
Yeah,
which
the
gives them more
trailer
funds.
looks phenomenal
Yeah.
for it. So
But also, this is not like a Kickstarter, so like if the game
No.
doesn't come out, you're gonna get your money back.
sure. I'd never heard of the studio, and that was one of my hesitations. I'm like, who the fuck is Owlcat Studio?
Depends on where you get. Is it a computer game?
It's available cross-platform.
I would get it on. Well, you have a gaming computer. I would
Yeah,
get
I
it on.
need
I would get it on Steam. Get it through Steam, and
That's
then
what I was
you're
gonna do.
covered.
Yeah.
A couple questions this week.
Hey, so how would you ask a question?
Oh, good call.
You can email us at nerdrageradiomail@gmail.com.
Paul C. writes in and says, apologies for the lack of questions as of late. Life has been kicking my ass post Skullstus. You and me both, Paul. As a side note, I'm finally caught up with reviews and everything. I'm like back to, like
Regular scheduled program.
Yeah, back to regular scheduled program. Feels good. I can do stuff like organize my drill playlist.
Important stuff, you know.
First thing on my list.
He said, but we're back with an even larger stack of questions for you guys over the upcoming weeks. We'll start with something easy, or at the very least, a good insight into your lives. What lengths have you gone to get laid? We can strip it down as far as you want. It can be something you've done for a specific person, or just to attract the opposite sex in general. Do you have do you shave your back because your wife doesn't like it hairy? Did you buy a specific cologne or a shirt they liked? Did you listen to a specific band because a girl you liked them? For some additional fun, is there anything you did because you thought it would get you laid in your younger years, we assume, that didn't end up yielding the results you'd hope for? That's the one I have. I don't have the others. The only thing I do to get laid from being 15 to now is I have to have my socks off. It's like a big deal for her. She can't stand the idea of a man naked with his socks on. It's disgusting.
I mean, in my younger years, I've done many things to try to get laid. Anything it took. Like at 16, I drove like 4 hours.
Oh wow.
And that's the time when I took out a map and atlas and plotted out the route from where I was to Newport, Virginia, wherever that is.
I did LSD.
Oh, just okay.
Yeah, there was a girl. Her name was Lonnie. I was in 7th grade,
Wow.
and
What would you do if your son was at home? Wasn't that Lonnie, the girl in that song?
I don't
Went
know.
to junior high with me.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's
That's
her.
her shaking for cash.
So she was an attractive girl, very attractive girl. Actually, the only redhead girl I've ever messed with, like in my life. But anyway, she was a big Acid fan. And we were at a party, and I had been working on this for some time. Yeah. And she was like, "Well, do a tab," and I was like, "All right," and I did it. And my mind is sometimes it's a place better left on.
I feel like LSD is not a good idea for you.
Yeah, it wasn't at all. There was one moment that I remember that was for all those listening, don't do it. There was one moment that I remember that was cool to me. Like it felt like I was underwater. Like I was moving like I was underwater too, I believe. But obviously I was on dry land. But just my body felt like it was underwater. Like when you walk underwater, it's like kind of slow and like a little bit of push against it. But
Like when you're dreaming. Sometimes.
my belt was playing tricks on me because, of course, this is probably like 93, 94. So I have like a 34-inch waist and like a 48-inch belt.
Was it woven?
Woven,
Yes.
of course.
Yes.
And a lot of, I'll just say this for anybody that's ever experimented with psychedelics in their life. There's a lot of lines in a woven belt, very tightly knit together. And
They're all there, aren't they?
and moving around town, and some would say almost felt like it was trying to get me in some way. But
I mean, I got into punk music in high school for a girl.
That's where the black flag came from.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't know. Most of my encounters are just like happenstance.
I was going to say mine have mostly been just I happen to be in the right place
at the right time.
So like, and I've,
I mean, that's behind the grocery store and somebody's drunk and I'm not. And
What a classy gal that must have been.
But I'm taking my
Piggly
break
Wiggly?
on the dock. It was actually not there, but
yeah, it's like, it's kind of like to tie it back to the last one, like vacations, like I like to just put all the right components for like a crazy night experience thing together, and just kind of like, what happens if we sprinkle a little this in? Like,
has baby oil ever
know.
played into that?
It's like you're working on.
toolkit?
It's like you're working on a potion.
yeah, yeah. So it's like
one frog's leg.
you know,
1
I
gallon of
found that,
GHB.
like the best stories, and then you know sometimes that lead to getting laid is just being able to just like, let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
You know,
One last thought on my that evening. The other thing that I like clearly remember was sitting in this lazy boy, and I felt like I was like sinking into it. Like the lazy boy was like forming around me. Like I was like you know, like one of those like awful, like the blob almost like things, and like I couldn't get out of it. You know, no problem.
Just thought you could.
And then the only other thing that I have on here was from
I did send something to Palsy yesterday.
Oh, did
he
you?
was one of the few people who asked me to find something for him in Japan. I was able to find. He asked me to find a set of 3 things. I found one of them for him.
Nice.
For a really fucking good price because of tariffs, whatever. He was saying if you were to order one, it would be like over $100, and I found
really?
it for like $60 or $80, something
Nice.
like that.
this is from Draven. It's a
And-
cool name, by the way. Draven.
Eric Draven from The Crow.
It's cool.
Yeah. And he asked me to find, I guess magic cards might be like Pops because they have a lot of guest artists and whatever. So like Palsy actually asked me to help him find some like magic cards for
Oh, really?
by same artist who did mouse cards.
so when you bring things back from another country, they don't charge you tariffs then.
No, because you're not importing. I'm just taking it with me. It's things I
You're
bought.
importing it.
You have to declare it, don't you?
It's not through a purchase. I bought it over there and then bring it back.
That's kind of interesting. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. Because over a certain amount you do. Over a certain amount of like monetary value, you're supposed to declare it.
This is a write-in from Draven. He says, "Good morning, afternoon, evening, my fellow Ragers. Not a question for this write-in, more of giving props where it's due. Bobby, by God, Skullface, God bless you for turning me on to Orange Crushes. You've opened my eyes to an amazing drink. As a screwdriver man myself, I was hesitant to branch out, and it has become my drink of choice because it has been my drink of choice for 18 years. But as of this past weekend and 9 crushes that I remember, my eyes have been opened, all thanks to you, my guy. Thank you for over 500 episodes and many more to come. My pleasure. And also, I got to shout out Nick, who just commented on the Nerve Rage episode from last week, and he said, because he's the one that turned me on to it, and he commented on it, he said, so glad my random suggestion to stop at HYC, which is a Hard Yacht Cafe, if I recall correctly, went out on a boat to get an Orange Crush has impacted you so much, Bobby. And that day that was on the boat is the same day I shot the music video for Truth. All that. So like that's the day I discovered the Orange Crush. You know, serendipitous, as they say.
Or happenstance.
Yep. Yep.
They're cousins.
With that being said, we'll get out of here. Shout out to Dante on Facebook. Shout out to Maryland Phil on Twitter and our notes. Phil's trying to come back out because he's off, but I think we needed to connect a little bit and tighten it down. Joe's been gone for a while, and maybe we'll have Phil out again soon. But with that being said,
Flappy Labius.
Moist eyes.
Tasty taint.
tight dick player.